prolong all this pain on the American people. And it is so frustrating to us. That's what you see reflected in the president's Truth post last night about the filibuster. We just want this to end.
Now, on Truth Social, the president urged Republican senators to play the Trump card and get rid of the filibuster the Democrats have been using to block funding as Democrats demand Republicans add a provision to extend Obamacare subsidies set to expire at the end of the year and drive up the cost of coverage for millions of Americans. Millions more Americans could lose food stamp assistance starting tomorrow because of the shutdown. A lawsuit, though, is trying to force the Trump administration to dip into emergency contingency funds. Federal workers remain unpaid, including air traffic controllers who have to keep working.
A lot of our people can go through the miss of one paycheck, and it's hard for them, but a lot of them can get through it. None of them can get through 2 paychecks.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy. Many controllers have called out sick, a big factor in more than 20,000 flight delays this week alone. It's Halloween, and something in Michigan might have been scary for real. FBI Director Kash Patel posted on X that this morning they thwarted a potential terrorist attack, arresting multiple people in Michigan. He wrote, "We're allegedly plotting something violent over the weekend," and he said more details are coming. Israel's turned over the remains of 30 Palestinians after Hamas handed over the bodies of 2 more dead hostages kidnapped in the October 2023 terror attack that triggered the war in Israel. Hamas still has 11 others.
Hamas has now returned the remains of 17 hostages, and Israel has returned the bodies of 195 Palestinians to authorities in Gaza. As part of the ceasefire deal, it's accusing Hamas of violating, saying they're delaying handing over bodies. Hamas is saying it's difficult to retrieve the bodies because of the destruction in Gaza.
That's Fox's Lillian Wu. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Where the FBI took him in. Partly cloudy, 42 this morning in the Circle City. Some sunshine will be peeking through as the day goes on. The high today around 56. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 9:02. A U.S. Marine is arrested this week after FBI agents say he traveled to Indiana and sexually assaulted a girl. Jake McDaniel reports.
FBI agents and Hammond police say William Richard Roy flew from North Carolina to Chicago last Friday, then took an Uber to Hammond the next day, where he met the girl at a park. They then traveled back to Chicago for a night at a hotel and took a bus back to North Carolina. When they got there on Sunday, the FBI arrested Roy and safely recovered the girl. Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
IMPD says a man was struck and killed by someone driving a minivan in downtown Indianapolis Thursday night. It happened at the intersection of South Illinois and West Maryland Streets. The man was taken to a hospital in critical condition, but later died there. The driver of the minivan stayed at the scene and spoke with police, who believe the man was not impaired. City leaders and members of the Aspire Indiana Health and Goodwill Horizon House nonprofits held a groundbreaking ceremony Thursday for the Housing Hub. The new facility will be 4 floors with 150 beds for individuals, couples, and families who are homeless. Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett says this is a real, sustainable solution to a complex problem.
I believe that when all of these pieces come together with this new housing hub, the impact will be completely transformative.
The $32 million downtown housing project is expected to be complete sometime in 2027. The statewide average for gas today, $2.93 a gallon, according to Gas Buddy, so prices continue to fall as the week goes on. In Indianapolis, the average gas price is at $2.88. The Indiana Pacers are back at it tonight as they get ready to host the Atlanta Hawks to begin group play in the NBA Cup. Head coach Rick Carlisle says the team has a few things they're really struggling with.
Fouling is a real problem for us right now. When you put the other team on the line, they're scoring with the clock stopped, and they can set their defense and that kind of stuff. It's going to be harder to play with the kind of tempo and pace that you want to. So
the Pacers are 0-4 to start the season. Tip-off tonight from Gainbridge Fieldhouse is at 7 Eastern. And in college football action tomorrow, the second-ranked Hoosiers are in Maryland. Notre Dame is back from their bye week to battle Boston College. Both of those games kick off at 3:30. And Purdue has a night game with Michigan on the road. Kickoff set there for 7:30. Happy Halloween, Matt Bear. How are the roads?
Happy Halloween, Jared. Looking at southbound 65 at Meridian. A crash blocking the right lane and stop-and-go traffic 221st for a 5-minute delay. Traffic sponsored by Staples. Have you heard? The Staples Easy button is back with even more easy. Press it for custom print shipping services, even passport photos. Staples, that was easy. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
This is Sammy Terry, encouraging you to visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov. There you can search for any unclaimed pleasant nightmares that are waiting to be claimed by you. Indiana Unclaimed returns a wicked $1 million every week to Hoosiers across the state. Now go, my goblins. It's fast, easy, and free to search. Visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov today.
Of all the times to buy new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, or Aviator. Plus get a $1,000 Tom Roush Trade Assist bonus. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
Subject to credit approval. Not all buyers will qualify. See dealer for complete offer details. Offer ends 10/31/2025.
This hour powered by Stevenson Heating and Cooling, your American Standard Air dealer, serving Johnson and Morgan counties.
The forecast from the American Standard Cooling Heating Center.
Mostly sunny for your Friday, a high of 58. Trick-or-treat temperatures into the low 50s early evening. Will stay clear overnight and chilly, a low of 38. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey, 93 WIBC.
And I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level on the go and on WIBC.com. Kendall and Casey starts now.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Every day is like Halloween. It's always scary.
I don't know, Casey.
What?
Well, look, here's what I'm struggling with, okay? Because when I was a kid, I would get great grades, reading comprehension, the I-STEP, which is what it was called back then. I did very well on the reading portion of the exams in school. Math, not my thing, but reading, English, great marks. And so I think I know how to read.
I hope so.
And I think I know how to comprehend what I'm reading. And this is what I'm struggling with, because what I'm reading here says that Duke Energy is about to get a potentially massive rate increase for its users. But I'm struggling because our governor, who would never lie to anyone and has a great track record of honesty and integrity. I mean, it's not like he went to a rally in front of 1,000 people and told him he was going to fight for him and then just caved and screwed everybody. Right? Well, now, according to the Indiana Capital Chronicle, Duke is going to get this potentially massive rate increase. And the governor had just said one of the key components to whoever is going to be appointed to the IURC, the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission, not be raising rates on people.
Correct. Right.
So you can see how someone who is very skilled in reading comprehension is struggling with this, that governor dishonesty said no more rate increases, and yet now we're about to get a massive rate increase.
So confused. Financial impact.
Help me, Casey, make sense of this.
I don't know if I can. The financial impact, the rate increases are going to be phased in every 6 months to minimize rate shock, Rob. So
we're going to screw you, but
we'll do it slowly. It's like a drip, drip, drip process.
Okay, so this is, it's not even wild. It's just totally expected. Look, Braun is a habitual liar. He doesn't give a damn about you. He has screwed you so many times already in the past 10 months, and it will just continue. The screwing will continue until voting improves. So the Capital Chronicle has a big article on this, that regulators have now approved Duke Energy's, it's a $3.3 billion plan. Plus financing.
Plus financing
That's
costs.
a big part of it, right? Duke don't got $3.3 billion laying around, so somebody's got to front them the $3.3 billion. Can you imagine having access to $3.3 billion?
I don't know what that's like.
Like think about when you get your home loan, right? $300,000, in your case, $5.5 million, whatever it may be. And what a stressful sort of engagement that is. May I have $300,000, please? And they examine every crevice of your existence, and they want to know who you dated in high school, and they're digging through your
Mother's
trash.
maiden name,
right?
blood
Yeah.
type.
Yeah, think about all that just to get a home loan. Can you imagine who do you go to
get
for $3.3 billion?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, you know who you go to? The taxpayers of Indiana.
Well, that's exactly the ratepayers, right? So they want to essentially phase out these coal-powered plants at the West Central Cayuga Generating Station, and they want to replace them with natural gas versions of these plants, which they are saying would essentially, not quite, but almost triple the output. Because, well, what have we said? They got to triple the output. All these energy companies do because of all these data centers that we as the taxpayers are subsidizing through the abatements and the IEDC giveaways. They need all this power that we don't have. So we got to get more power for them. So then we're double subsidizing them because now Duke says, well, we got to raise everybody's rates to do this $3.3 billion plus financing endeavor here.
Yeah, okay, so the initial rate hike, $1.87 a month for residential customers. Projected total impact, $19.37 a month. But darn it, Rob, the governor just said his priority was no more rate increases.
Well,
this must be a trick. It is Halloween, trick or treat. This is just a trick.
So the Office of Utility Consumer Counselor, this was all the way back in May, urged this to be defeated. And what I cannot fathom is how the governor did not publicly say, look, I have new appointees coming on. This is a massive decision you guys are going to make. I respectfully ask that the current IURC and the current governing body delay this decision until the new appointees are in who can come in and look at this with fresh eyes. Hey, if they decide to do it, then that's on them. But the fact that they slammed this through.
Approved that plan.
At the very end, the last minute. I mean, we've told by Merritt they're getting ready to make these nominations to the governor.
Well, they've been doing interviews.
Anytime now. They deliberately did this so that these current people appointed under previous regimes can make this choice and screw everybody. And once again, we have seen the state government, the state of Indiana, be in bed with these mega for-profit utility companies at the expense of everyone else.
Yeah. Okay. So
and not a word from Braun, by the way. I haven't heard, this has been out for a day now. This happened early yesterday, and I haven't heard a word from Braun about this or his goof lieutenant governor. Neither one of these people have said anything. Or any state lawmaker. I haven't seen any lawmaker come out and pound their fist. Where are the people who are supposed to be for us, Casey? Where are the people who are supposed to be on our side?
I don't know. It was an 80-page order. Maybe they just haven't read it yet.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I bet that's the issue.
So the Citizens Action Coalition, they condemned the decision. They called it unfair to ratepayers.
Yeah, and then you know what you can get with that and a quarter? Nothing. Nothing. Like, I'm so sick, and I'm not blaming these people, but this consumer advocate coming out and saying, because it seems like we see this all the time. Oh, this is bad for the ratepayers. Oh, that is bad for the ratepayers. And yet all of this stuff just seems to get rubber stamped, and it just goes right on through. And in this case, it appears very obvious to me that instead of doing the right thing and saying, hey, the governor's given new instructions, clearly he has a new priority, we have a new governor, we've got these people. I mean, all these people were coming off. I think, agreed or didn't. I didn't see any intense pushback from any of these people who are leaving the IURC. Let's give these new people a chance to take a look at this major issue. If they come to the same conclusion as us, great. If they don't, that's on them. They figure it out going forward. But they slammed this through at the end to ensure it went forward because they wanted to screw us.
So the governor's passing out candy today. Maybe you could go trick-or-treating.
Are they $100 bills so I can pay my electric? Is that what they are?
No, he's passing out Indiana-based candy, okay? From 6 until 8, North Meridian Street. He'll be there with his staff.
Okay. You think, how much would I have to pay a small child to deliver
A message
to the governor? Here's the problem, though. I think you hit the nail on the head with this yesterday. If I knew it's 2 hours, is that right?
Yeah.
If I knew for 2 hours Braun was going to answer that door every single time, I would send a small child up to the governor's mansion and I would financially accommodate his family accordingly to deliver a message to the governor. But I think you're right. I don't think he's going to answer the door the entire time. I think you're going to get 5 minutes of photo op, and then he's going to go to bed for the evening.
I don't even think he'll be opening the door. I believe it'll just be out on the sidewalk.
Oh, no, they'll have some photo op where they have some pre-approved junior trick-or-treat, and then Grandpa's going to get out of his recliner, probably wearing his blue shirt, and him and his wife are going to answer the door and look all surprised, and they're going to give the kid the candy, and then, you know, it's like Roger Goodell at the NFL draft. You know how, like, the first day he handles the draftees, and then by the time you get to guys' names that no one can pronounce, it's some low-level guy in the office. That's the way it is with trick-or-treating. The first sets of photo ops, he'll take it, and then, you know, I'm not going to risk, you know, $20 of my hard-earned money for some kid to have to deliver a message to an intern that'll never get back to Braun.
It won't get back to him. It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Holy cow! Another beautiful play for Indiana. A new coach, a new team, a new energy in Bloomington.
You're going to see a bunch of guys that are all about winning. They play incredibly hard.
Coach Darren DeVries is ready to write the next chapter in Hoosier basketball.
We love what I think the fans are going to be able to see in terms of how we approach every game.
IU basketball is back. Up next, Alabama A&M, Wednesday at 8 on the home of the Hoosiers, 93 WIBC.
So October is here. I've got peace of mind with my Window Nation windows that the hot air is going to stay in my house and the cold air is going to stay out. You can eliminate annoying drafts once and for all with top quality replacement windows from Window Nation, just like I did. And they got an awesome deal right now going on at windownation.com.
Window Nation has an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, and they send the best of the best out to your house. All of their experts have multiple years experience, and Window Nation windows come with a lifetime warranty. So schedule a fast and free estimate right now with Window Nation. And now through October 31st, buy 2 windows, get 2 for free. And you don't pay anything for 2 years. 866-90-NATION or go online to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. If you're living with a chronic condition like diabetes, chronic heart failure, or a cardiovascular disorder, you might count on extra support with your health care too. That's why United Healthcare offers chronic special needs plans with extra benefits and a large provider network to choose from. Visit uhc.com/Medicare to find out if you qualify today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Indiana can count on. Provider network may vary in local market.
It's JMV, and the fall sales are across the board at Miss M's Home and Garden this week. Visit the Garden Center for 20% off all fall annuals, including mums and interior fall decor. 30 to 50% off all container trees and shrubs in stock. 40% off patio furniture and 50% off pottery. Now is the time to take advantage of the remaining fall evenings and save. The friendly staff at Miss M's will help add the right touches to your home and landscape. Miss M's on State Road 135, south of Whiteland Road in Bargersville.
Attention Indiana homeowners, are you dealing with a wet and moldy crawl space? Hi, I'm Adam Swain with Swain Co. Crawl Space and Basement Repair, your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts dedicated to fixing your crawl space right the first time. And with our new no interest, no payment financing, you can get the repairs you need without breaking the bank. Don't let crawl space water problems dampen your spirits. Call Swain Co., Indy's most trusted waterproofing experts at 317-407-1868 or swaincollc.com.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
This is Sammy Terry, encouraging you to visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov. There you can search for any unclaimed pleasant nightmares that are waiting to be claimed by you. Indiana Unclaimed returns a wicked $1 million every week to Hoosiers across the state. Now go, my goblins. It's fast, easy, and free to search. Visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov today.
Technology Recyclers is the safe and ethical choice for your computer and electronics recycling. R2 certified, 100% landfill free, guaranteed destruction of data, and absolutely free pickups. Visit tech-recyclers.com.
Hi, this is Richard Stevenson. Is your furnace ready for the winter? Give us a call, 317-557-8532.
Stevenson Heating and Cooling is your independent American Standard air dealer.
Right.
About what?
You wanted to do the story yesterday, and I said someone else will do all the work on this. And if we just wait long enough.
I did ask you like 3 times. You want to talk about this? You want to talk about this? And you were like, nah, let's just wait. Let's just wait. And then, lo and behold, Indy reporter to the rescue.
Okay, so Casey wanted to do this story yesterday, and I told her, I said, Casey, Steven, our old pal Steven at Indy Reporter, who we should do a documentary. Someone should do a documentary on the life of the Indy. There's a team. There's like 4 people. And the other 3 are shrouded in mystery. Most people listen to this program know there's a really fun account that covers Indiana politics and government. It's called Indy Reporter. It's at Indy_reporter_. And there's like 4 of these people. 3 of them are shrouded in mystery, like some secret society people.
For their own safety.
And then Stephen Whitmer, who had run for State House before in Indianapolis, is sort of like the face of the Indy Reporter account. And all these people do. I have no idea what they do for jobs. It's like very mysterious, but they have time collectively all day to be some sort of super team that just reads and processes very hard to understand government documents and paperwork. And so everybody should totally follow the Indy Reporter Twitter account. And I told you yesterday when you wanted to talk about the drones, I said, Steven sent me a bunch of stuff. I didn't understand half of it, but I know if we just wait for an entire day, he will do all the work and put a post out on it. So I don't have to do any effort whatsoever. And he did.
And he did.
All right. So you give us high level what's going on the drones, and then I'll tell you why this is interesting.
Okay. So there's a new executive order. It came from the governor, Mike Braun, and it's to position Indiana to be a lead in the federal government's, quote, mission of American drone dominance.
That sounds very ominous, doesn't it?
Well, they want to develop some cross-sector aerial testing. They want to make Indiana a corridor for it, and it's part of defense and training.
Now, on the surface, that sounds okay, I guess, right? But then when you couple it with all the things that our state is doing as it relates to data centers and all of this stuff, it just sounds... Maybe the name is just spooky. Is it because it's the Halloween season? But the branding of this sounds very spooky, doesn't it?
Well, one of the things they want to do is they want to make Indiana a drone manufacturing, high point.
Now, according...
See what I did there, high point drone?
Now, according to, and this is sort of like how all of this stuff sort of ties together. So this is what Steven and the Indy Reporter people came up with, and this is fascinating. So I'm going to just read what he put because, it's so one of the things that these people depend on. This really came out in the IEDC audit. The government and the IEDC depend on an inability for you to follow stuff, right? It's so obvious that the entanglement on this, right? Like, when you read that IEDC audit and all the stuff that was going on, and then the Indy Star report on those 3 Kings guys and where all the money was going and how it was benefiting, there's these subcommittees. This group over here appoints this group over here does that. You can't because it's a quasi-government entity. You can't. And finally, people just give up. They just go, well, I guess I'm getting screwed. Okay, on to the next thing. And so, I don't know how long it took them to put this together, and it's very fascinating. So what he wrote is part of the executive order is creating a, quote, drone dominance task force.
Yeah, they want to advance manufacturing.
Which sounds like something that might blow up my house someday. Well, we've had enough of Rob Kendall at WIBC. Let's take out his place of residence. Doesn't that sound pretty creepy?
Well, possibly. I doubt that'll
the
happen.
name, like all the things they could come up with, and they said, let's call it drone dominant. Because when I think of a drone, I think of those things that just fly over houses, right? Oh, let's drop a little napalm on Rob's house. Oh, well, see what happened, right? Yeah. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it does sound very spooky. Anyway, there's basically a board, for lack of a better term, the task force that will be appointed to oversee this task force. And according to the people at Indie Reporter, one of the people appointed is going to be from the Applied Research Institute. And that is a group that was talked about in the Indy Star article about the Three Kings guys with the IEDC, who are basically dictating where money was going, taxpayer money was going from the IEDC, what groups, et cetera. And a lot of that money ended up going to groups and companies that were in some way affiliated with the people who were delegating the money. So then he says that Senator Greg Good, who we're going to talk about next, he is, I believe he still is, the state director for Todd Young. Now, I told you, I saw this Greg Good guy before at that Clay County Lincoln Day when Diego Morales and I got into it. He was like the intro guy for Todd Young, and his speech was like a Politburo speech. You know, I used the old videos with Stalin or Saddam Hussein where the guy just kept praising and you had to keep clapping. And like if you stopped, somebody got their hands chopped off, or, you know, somebody lost an ear or something like that. Like that was what this speech was. I was like, oh my gosh, this is pathetic. One grown man is saying this much stuff about another grown man. Anyway, Stephen goes on to identify that the former state director for Todd Young and this and who this guy was, and that person is now the current president and CEO of Applied Research Institute after one of those guys who was mentioned in the Three Kings article stepped down. And so that group, Applied Research Institute, of which this guy who is very connected to Todd Young, is going to now sit on this board, and clearly Todd Young is hyper involved in this, what do they call this? This drone, what's the name of it? The Drone Dominance Task Force.
Yeah.
So if you're concerned about this, Todd Young has his fingerprints all over this thing.
Well, yeah, the executive order was developed in collaboration with Todd Young because he wants to support the federal government's mission for American drone dominance. And think about this, some of the assets that we have here in Indiana include Crane, also restricted airspace over Camp Atterbury.
And so one of the things that you realize and this is one of the things that Indie Reporter account does very well, is the just incestuous nature of all of this. Like nothing happens accidentally with the government. It's always somebody connected to somebody. It's never like, oh, this would be great, and let's just get the randomly best people to see this. It's always people that are uber connected into the government, into these business people, and then you got to start asking yourself, what are the projects going to be? Who's going to make money off of it? And who are they connected to? What politicians are they connected to? And how much money has been given back to these politicians?
No, they say that some of the assets are to use the universities with drone research and development programs. Did the article mention which universities? I'm just going to guess it's Purdue.
Maybe Rose-Hulman?
I don't know for sure. Okay.
Who has a better engineering program? Is it Purdue or is it Rose-Hulman? Who's better? Now, I know you're biased.
I don't know who's better. Yeah, I would say Purdue, but they may be, I don't know, more known for it.
Like, am I just a conspiracy theorist to say this sounds very, very creepy? And when you couple with, like, what we just laid out on who these people are that are connected into this thing, and that at the tip of the spear on all of this appears to be Todd Young, our esteemed, the Duke of Spendingburg, our esteemed senior senator from the state of Indiana, you go, ooh, I think we should really learn more about this before going forward.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think obviously this is a large project which tips into national security. And so you've got Todd Young, and he has the governor joining him. They do this executive order, and they get together and collab and say, okay, who do we know? Who do we have who can do this?
Well, you got to admit,
so they use their people.
All this aside, whether we're all going to get blown up or not, you got to admit, it's pretty good on my part. Look, I can read people. This is what I do. I read the people.
You knew Stephen was going to...
I knew if I just waited long enough, somebody else would do all the work on this, and I could just sit twiddling my thumbs and watch the football games.
All right, well, let's get into what Senator Greg Good put out.
It's Good.
Good Good.
Well, we don't know.
It is today.
I don't know which one it is.
Yeah.
But you know who is, okay, so we mentioned Greg Goodgood. He's a senator.
He's
state
having
senator.
an event about redistricting.
Yes, he's over in Vigo County. And,
for sure.
And there's something fascinating going on with this event that he's having on redistricting. But in the meantime, someone who is always good is Jarrett Lewis with the news.
He's up next on 93 WIBC.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A fight over SNAP. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 9:30. An 11th hour decision by a federal judge in Massachusetts could undo the Trump administration's suspension of the SNAP program.
U.S. District Judge Indira Telwani is hearing the lawsuit brought by more than 24 states that want the Trump administration to use emergency funds to give help to the 42 million Americans who receive benefits through the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. The Trump administration has acknowledged that there is money in an emergency reserve specifically to fund SNAP, but defended its decision to stop paying for the program, commonly known as food stamps, saying there were legal obstacles to moving money to cover November benefits. The judge appeared skeptical of the claims, saying she saw no reason the government couldn't tap its own emergency reserves to keep people from going hungry.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. Meanwhile, President Trump calling on Republicans to get rid of the filibuster in order to end the government shutdown. In a post to social media, Trump said since the GOP has power, they should go for the nuclear option and end the shutdown. And residents in Jamaica are recovering from the impact of Hurricane Melissa, which devastated the island nation earlier this week. The hurricane made landfall as a Category 5 storm with maximum sustained winds up to 185 miles per hour, and some areas getting nearly 3 feet of rain.
The breeze, we have this heavy rain and the heavy wind, and it just damage everything. Just turn back and make two spin and lift up everything, so I lose everything.
Officials say at least 19 people have been killed in Jamaica, and that number is expected to go up. Your opening bell report on 93 WIBC brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management. The Dow is up 60 points, 47,522. The S&P 500 is also up 48 points, 6,822. And the NASDAQ is in the green, up over 320 points to 25,734. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Have you heard about Galaxy Concrete Coatings and their transformation? Your neighbor Bruce did.
Well, the project I was wanting to accomplish was my driveway. I wanted to see if I could get something that looked halfway decent, that would last a while. We also had a side patio surface redone.
Garage, basements, patios, sidewalks, driveways, Galaxy will transform your surface in as little as 1 day.
The crew was very, very good, excellent. The end result was just super. It is non-slippable surface. I get this if you want to make sure you're not going to have any people slipping or sliding when it rains.
Commercial or residential, 4 times stronger than epoxy, and it comes with a lifetime warranty.
The end result was just super. It was very easy to keep this surface clean. I had tire tracks all over it, and I just took out my hose, sprayed it down, and it looks just like new again.
Click on GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com and remember to like us on Facebook. Galaxy Concrete Coatings. We are out of this world.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Football is back, and so are great hairlines. We Grow Hair Indy has helped former local professional football players get back in the game with full natural hair. You don't have to play pro ball to get pro-level results. Hey, it's Rob, and I knew I picked the right team when I needed a Hail Mary for my hair. I called We Grow Hair Indy. Whether you're tailgating, coaching, or watching from the couch, do it with confidence. Trade the sidelines for a hairline. Get back in the game at We Grow Hair Indy.
Schedule your free evaluation today at WeGrowHairIndy.com. That's WeGrowHairIndy.com or call 317-522-2995. That's 317-522-2995. Enjoy being out and about this fall. Enjoy watching the games in person with your friends with confidence you haven't had in years. And you can do it with a trip to We Grow Hair Indy. 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. Tell them Rob sent you.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Drexel Interiors has teamed up with Mohawk for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. A portion of October's Mohawk sales will be donated to the Susan G. Komen Foundation. Visit either showroom or drexelin.com today.
Okay, a state senator is doing something. And I want to get your opinion on if this is, because I think this is smart, although I think he's a little off on what he's actually doing. But I don't know. You're the voice of reason on this program, so I got to give it up to you. It's Kendall Casey Show. I'm Rob. That's Casey. So we mentioned him last segment. Greg Goodgood. He is Todd Young's professional butt kisser. Like, that's his job. He's some
former state director for Todd
Well, I think
Young.
he still is. I think that's still his job. I'll have to look that up. But he is Todd Young's right-hand man. His Tonto to the Lone Ranger, right? And he is now a senator from the Vigo County area. Now, we call him Goodgood because it's spelled Goode is how he spells his name. And I think Clay County is in his district as well. He is Republican. And he is one of the senators who is a no on redistricting.
Correct. And if you'd like to find, if you're looking for Mr. Goodbar, you can find him at an event he's hosting at the Terre Haute City Hall.
So he had said, hey, this coming weekend, in lieu of the special session starting sometime in the near future, I would like to have a town hall to hear from you, my constituents, on what do you think about redistricting. Now, as soon as he put this out, the internet influencer people were like, yeah, everybody go and storm the Bastille and everybody go tell him what you think and blah, blah, blah. And so they obviously saw this and they were like, okay, new rules for this thing. If you ain't my constituent, you ain't getting in.
Right.
And now people are up in arms over the fact that they put this pretty tight requirement on because they wanted to go scream at him and tell him, if you don't redistrict, we're going to blah, blah, blah. And this is, Casey, what is my least favorite part of every show?
Oh, when you have to remind everybody that you're right about something.
And what have I been saying for really months now on this program? These senators don't care for the most part. Now, there's some of them that are pretty weak. But most of them don't care, especially the ones that just kind of hide in the shadows and just like the job and the power and the perks. They don't care what anybody thinks but their constituent, because that's the only people who can vote them up and the only people who can vote them down. And there will be some that the D.C. Drano people of the world are going to flip. But for the ones they need to get, if it ain't coming from their constituents, it ain't going to move them one way or another. And what are we seeing here?
Well, he's requiring that you live within his district if you want to participate.
Okay, so part of me sees this and says, good move, because all that really matters is what your constituents think. I mean, we see this all the time where there's a project that might be good for one area to be bad for another area. You as a senator, even if it might be good for, quote unquote, the state as a collective, your job is to represent your constituents. So good move on that. However, one of the issues I have is in the name of transparency, I think you should let people in, but I'm fine with only letting your constituents speak. Is he making a mistake by not letting everybody in?
I don't believe so. I mean, they only have so much space, right? And as you've seen online, many people are saying, I'm going to be there. I mean, Tony Katz, for example, has said, I'll see you there.
Well, I think they gave
He doesn't live in that district.
Yeah, but I think they gave out media passes to members of the press. Now, they obviously have, if you're in there as a member of the press, you have those people tend to feel pretty
Stand
good.
in the back.
They're going to know the rules of decorum. They're not going to be screaming at you one way or another. So you don't worry about that. So I get what he's worried about, which is, hey, on either side, right? But it seems like on this one, the lunatic people are on the right on this one. Like it seems like the thus far. Now, obviously, that's, as they say in pro wrestling, card subject to change. But the just obsession people seem to be people on the right, and I'm sure he was like, I'm not going to get screamed at by some guy who lives in Muncie.
Right. Well, he's not excluding everybody, though, because he said you'll be provided with an opinion form that he will review later. If you're not somebody who lives within his district, they're going to let you still give your opinion, just...
What, like outside?
Yeah, he said those who are unable to provide proof of district residency will remain outside and will be provided with an opinion form that Senator Good will review.
Okay.
So he's still gonna see what you have to say.
He's going to ignore you in the order in which you're received. But you can fill out a form and be ignored.
I mean, they've got some guidelines here. Respectful behavior required at all times. No signs or political materials permitted. Disruptions will result in removal. Each speaker is allowed up to 2 minutes. They say that the senator is going to listen only. This won't be a debate or discussion.
Yeah, that's smart.
And, I mean, I get it. He puts it out there. Hey, due to fire codes, we have limited space.
Yeah, okay.
They're expecting a large crowd because this is a hot button issue.
Yep.
He wants the people talking directly to him or engaging with him to be people who voted for him or against him.
Okay. You're winning me over.
So
now I guess
anybody else can go. You're just not going to get the mic.
Yeah. Well, you can't go get in.
Well, you can stand outside and give your opinion in writing.
And I guess if the media is allowed in, which it appears they're going to be allowed in, then they can report on the whole thing. I assume, now this is dangerous for me to do, but I assume they will allow like live streaming of the event. So you'll be able to see it, like if, one of the members of the press, Tony Katz or whoever. But what did I just want to come back to.
Yeah, I don't see anything about no cameras allowed.
Why anybody ever doubts me on this show, I don't know. Like, who was the person who got that the lieutenant governor's office is under a grand jury investigation exactly right? Me. I don't know why people doubt me. I've told people for months now there will be some weak people that will be swayed based on DC Drano, who lives in Florida. But the people you need to get, the people that are going to be in the Rod Bray style camp who you're going to have to flip to get this thing fixed, you ain't going to do it on Twitter. You ain't going to do it on even here, talk radio. It's going to have to be the people that live in that district showing clear passion for the issue, and it just doesn't seem like that exists outside of a group of very vocal people with megaphones, which is fine on social media, and certainly some conservative activists in the state. But again, if you don't live in my district, I don't care what you think.
Right. It's it's not his problem. He's there to represent the people of Eagle County.
Now, some people in the YouTube chat are saying they shouldn't let Katz in because of his very vocal stance on redistricting. Katz will behave himself. He's not going to be screaming at the senator, and it's not even a Q&A anyway. So there's nothing you're going to be able to get him on. He's clearly laid out the ground rules. If I'm here to listen to you, I'm not going to debate you or anything else. So that's fine. They should let Katz in. There's no problem with that.
I don't know if you saw this, but 2 days ago, Dan Spieler from Fox 59.
Yeah.
He reported, Governor Braun tells me 14 senators are publicly for redistricting and says probably another 8 are privately for it.
It ain't
enough. If it comes up to a vote, we're real close. That would make 22 votes, 25 needed.
Yeah. and I've known Dan Spieler for a long time. Used to do a little work for Dan Spieler years ago when he was in the high school sports broadcasting business. Used to be on Dan Spieler. I've told you this story, right? I used to be on the, Fox 59 CBS 4 has this weekend political show, and I used to be the Republican guy from time to time that would come on. And then they stopped inviting me, and I think they stopped inviting me because I was too mean to the Republicans. Like they want, I'm in
they
this
want a
camp,
cheerleader.
I'm in that camp, and then it just became like a bunch of people bashing up the Republicans because I was too mean to them.
I don't know.
I think that's what happened.
Was it before you got your hair done?
Oh yeah, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, maybe that's really why.
I was probably too beautiful for the camera.
It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
A Halloween edition of the Hammer and Nigel Show. Hammer is back. Plus, it's Beer Sample Friday. All the fun starts at 3 o'clock, 93 WIBC.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Greetings, radio friends. It's Rob here for my friend Mark Deedle with a very important announcement. He wants you to know that the Indianapolis real estate market is strong, but it's not easy. Now is a good time to sell only if you hire a real estate team that knows how to aggressively market your home like Mark Deedle Realty. Perhaps you're worried you need costly repairs or upgrades to sell your home. Mark Deedle guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Neil in Indianapolis had to say about working with Mark Deedle. I had already moved and listed my old home with an agent friend for 60 days. Not happy, I decided to evaluate the Mark Deedle marketing plan, and I switched. To my relief, after about 15 days on the market, the Mark Deedle team sold my home as is for the price I needed. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Deedle 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdeedle.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com.
Stuck in a job that just isn't getting it done? Maybe it's time to go for IT. Whether you're just starting out, switching careers, or a military veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you launch a rewarding career in IT in months. No prior experience needed. Why spend years getting a traditional degree when your future in IT can start right now? Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Your most powerful upgrade? Your career. Go for it. Go for IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Of all the times to buy new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, or Aviator. Plus, get a $1,000 Tom Roush Trade Assist bonus. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
Subject to credit approval. Not all buyers will qualify. See dealer for complete offer details. Offer ends 10/31/2025.
This is Sammy Terry, encouraging you to visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov. There you can search for any unclaimed pleasant nightmares that are waiting to be claimed by you. Indiana Unclaimed returns a wicked $1 million every week to Hoosiers across the state. Now go, my goblins. It's fast, easy, and free to search. Visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov today.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
online to the contest page at WIBC.com and enter for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra Thursday, December 4th at Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
London calling to the faraway towns. Now war is declared and battle come down. London calling to the
Correct grammar would be and Indiana. If I were saying an Indiana, like Indiana, you've got to have an in if it's a vowel, right?
Correct.
Right. And Indiana.
Going back to your previous statement that you can read.
Yes, an Indiana institution appears to be in big trouble, and we've reported on it before, but it seems like it's getting worse and not better.
Yeah, Jack's Donuts has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The filing lists over $14 million in liabilities and $1.4 million in personal property assets.
Now, this is a horrible story because it was, or at least for a time, appeared to be this incredible Hoosier success story. Now, years ago, when I had my county radio show in Hendricks County, my night show, I had the guy who was the face, not exactly the founder, but it was his family, and then he took it over and elevated. Lee Markham was the guy's name, and it's this incredible story. I'm trying to remember all of it off the top of my head, but his grandpa owned this. I think this is how it went. His grandpa owned this donut shop in Newcastle. He takes it over. He's doing great with it, and then starts franchising this donut shop, Jack's Donuts, out across central Indiana. And they're, it's popular. The donuts are great. People are opening these stores left and right. This guy, he's a younger guy, I think my age, maybe a little older. So at the time he's in his, early, mid-30s. Cheerful guy, very involved in the community. Got this great story about this family business. And everybody's like, oh, man, this is the most Indiana thing ever. Well, over the past couple years, they went really big with it appears, with Jack's Donuts. WRTV, amongst others, have the reporting on this. It's all over Central Indiana news publications. And he started this, basically what they called it, a commissary in Newcastle, where they started making all the stuff in
one location
and then shipping it out to people, right?
Yeah.
And it appears to have failed miserably. We've done stories on this before where people weren't getting their products. They would go days or weeks without stuff. They were having to come up with makeshift ways, get donuts from other stores. Like, it's just been this colossal disaster. And there's all these civil lawsuits, civil judgments against him in the millions of dollars. And now it is, like we said, culminated in an October 29th filing of Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Yeah, so Carter Logistics, which is a transportation company, is among one of their creditors, and they've sued them. They sued them back in April for $700,000. They say that's how much Jack's Donuts owed them. But Chapter 11, that allows them to reorganize under court supervision, and their goal is to repay their creditors over time, keep the business alive, and the independent franchisees aren't going to be affected by this, though.
Well, they're going to be affected in the sense of there's clearly some serious issues with this company being able to help their franchisees.
But if there's a Jack's Donuts near you, it will remain open.
For now.
True.
I mean, I'm not trying to be uber negative about this. I mean, there's many fine people who own these and they're local merchants and they want to do well. But there's clearly some systemic issues in this company in which they say they have 100, according to WRTV, they have 100 creditors and $14.2 million in liabilities.
Yeah.
And only $1.4 million in personal property assets. I mean, this is
well, it seems to me they made that switch to go to that one central location, the commissary, and that's where the quality of the product deteriorated. So if they can financially make it work where they make the donuts on site, maybe that's what they have to go back to. I don't know. I'm not in the donut making business.
I know, but you've been around business long enough and big companies, and when you're that far underwater, even if
it take a lot.
Yeah, I mean, even if you can find a way to stop the dam from breaking further,
right?
How do you put everything back in the?
Well, that's what I was going to say. How do you get it back?
And I hate this because he seemed like such a genuine guy. This was 10 years ago or so that I talked to the guy, but this was on when he was on the way up, and you're like, wow, what a cool guy, what a cool life. He was, you see him at the Pacers games and stuff, and it was just like, Man, this is the most Indiana story ever, and now it's just all falling. I mean, even some of these franchisees are on the claims list.
The profit margin cannot be huge per donut.
Well, look, anything post-COVID is a risk, right? Especially as an individual guy, or in this case, a local company, and you don't know the whole deal, but it sounds like he just got in over his skis, and he just can't deliver. And anyway, if you got a
making me
Jack
hungry
Stone's,
for a donut.
well, there's one right down the street here. I'm sure they could use the business.
True. Did you see that Hershey is saying that the Halloween chocolate sales have not been so sweet?
Oh.
And that's largely because of the price of chocolate.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Has surged 30% since last year's Halloween.
Well, and this is every year, right? Every year we've seen this post-COVID where the Halloween candy has just reached a point of it's why when those kids stole that candy out of that bin that I put out that year, I was going to chase them down the street, and my now girlfriend at the time, thankfully stopped me and was like, "You're going to end up on the news if you do that." I said, "They stole their kids' candy."
So now hard candy in the mixed bags, they're now outselling chocolate.
That sounds dangerous for a small child to have hard candy.
Hard candy.
Doesn't it?
It's the second biggest money maker. Well, yeah, I mean, I think you're going to have to monitor all the candy.
Yeah. That sounds like a lot of work. I'll just give my kid candy.
Okay.
Trick or treat.
Yeah. It's Kendall Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hey, it's Hammer and Nigel here for Window Nation. October is here, and you know what it means. The return of all things pumpkin-flavored, earlier sunsets, and chilly air seeping into your home. That is, if you've got those old, stuck, cracked windows. Ready to eliminate annoying drafts once and for all? Reach out to the experts at Window Nation. This month, when you buy 2 windows, you'll get 2 more for free, and your total price includes 1-day installation. With Window Nation, you also won't have to make any payments for 2 years, which is a big deal with the holiday season coming up. Check it out at windownation.com.
Window Nation has an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, and that gives you the peace of mind when you're deciding on whether or not you're working with the right company. Put an end to your window problems with Window Nation. Now through October 31st, buy 2 windows, get 2 for free, and you don't pay anything for 2 years with Window Nation. Visit windownation.com today. That's windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
If you have Medicaid and are new to Medicare, you may qualify to enroll in a Humana Medicare Advantage dual eligible special needs plan with a lot more benefits like dental, vision, and hearing, along with helpful support when you need it most. Now is the time to see if you qualify to enroll. It only takes a few minutes to find out if you're eligible. Our licensed sales agents are ready to help you understand your options. So this Medicare planning season, we can help you plan well. Learn more at humanaduals.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a dual-eligible special needs HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the state Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
This is Sammy Terry, encouraging you to visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov. There you can search for any unclaimed pleasant nightmares that are waiting to be claimed by you. Indiana Unclaimed returns a wicked $1 million every week to Hoosiers across the state. Now go, my goblins. It's fast, easy, and free to search. Visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov today.
30 to 50% off all container trees and shrubs at Sundown Gardens in Westfield, 186th Street and Spring Mill Road, sundown.gardens.com.
eBay has reinvented vehicle buying. From click to curb, everything's covered. Ever try to buy a car online and end up in a parking lot with a stranger and some blind trust? That era is over. Now with Secure Purchase, eBay isn't just where you find your car. It's where you buy it, start to finish. Title, financing, registration, delivery, it's all built in. This is the modern way to buy your next ride. on eBay. eBay. Things people love. Secure purchase is powered by Caramel Dealer Services, LLC, an eBay subsidiary.
In 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, where FBI agents arrested a Marine this week in what they say he did. The appeal coming from the Indiana Attorney General's office this week. How soon before a shelter for homeless people will be in downtown Indy. And a preview of the Pacers' Halloween night game tonight against the Hawks at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Those stories and more next. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 10 o'clock.
It's time to play the Trump card in the Senate. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what the president believes Republicans have to do to end the government shutdown now in day 31.
Yeah, the president writes on Truth Social, quote, because of the fact that the Democrats have gone stone cold crazy, the choice is clear. Initiate the nuclear option. Get rid of the filibuster.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich. Democrats have used the filibuster to block funding, demanding health care provisions be added. They say will help prevent the spike up in the cost of coverage next year for millions of Americans. Republican Senator Roger Marshall tells Fox Business he was wary of getting rid of the filibuster, but not anymore.
The biggest argument to get rid of it is that, look, the Democrats are going to do it anyway. The next time the Democrats are controlling the Senate, they're going to do it anyway.
The shutdown's keeping most federal workers home and unpaid. Even those who have to keep working are not getting paychecks. And starting tomorrow, more than 40 million Americans who get food stamp assistance won't anymore because of the shutdown, unless states that are suing win after a court hearing.
The Trump administration has acknowledged that there is money in an emergency reserve specifically to fund SNAP, but defended its decision to stop paying for the program, commonly known as food stamps, saying there were legal obstacles to moving money to cover November benefits. The judge appeared skeptical of the claims, saying she saw no reason the government couldn't tap its own emergency reserves to keep people from going hungry.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. The FBI is reporting a potential terror attack this weekend was thwarted in Michigan, with several people arrested this morning. Hurricane Melissa is moving past Bermuda after doing a lot of damage in Cuba and widespread devastation across Jamaica, where it hit as one of the strongest hurricanes ever.
A lot of infrastructure damage. Houses are lost. People are without homes. Light poles are down.
And this man standing in the middle of all that destruction told Fox Weather,
we are pleading to the regular authorities to see if they can grant any level of assistance to the people of this community.
Melissa's blamed for nearly 50 deaths in the Caribbean. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The FBI taking him in. Sunny skies now, 45 on Monument Circle. The high today at 56. I'm Jarrett Lewis. It's now 10:02. A U.S. Marine is arrested this week after FBI agents say he traveled to Indiana to meet, kidnap, and sexually assault a girl. FBI agents and Hammond police say William Richard Roy flew from North Carolina to Chicago last Friday, then took an Uber to Hammond the next day, where he met the girl at a park. They then traveled back to Chicago for a night at a hotel before taking a bus back to North Carolina. The FBI arrested Roy once they got back there and safely recovered the girl. Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita is appealing a judge's dismissal of his lawsuit against St. Joseph County Sheriff Bill Redmond over immigration enforcement. Here's Ryan Hedrick.
The lawsuit filed earlier this year says the sheriff's office didn't follow federal immigration requests to hold certain people. A judge dismissed the case on October 17th, and Rokita's office quickly filed an appeal saying the court got it wrong.
The anti-sanctuary law that Indiana has on the books, very important statute because it is directly related to public safety.
Blake Lanning, Rokita's assistant chief deputy, Sheriff Redmond says his department followed the law. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The first publicly constructed emergency shelter is coming to Indianapolis. The $32 million housing hub project will be in the heart of downtown. Nonprofit leaders, along with city and state officials, including Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett, helped break ground on the site of the new facility Thursday.
That is what this project represents, a solution, not a temporary fix for a complex problem, but a real sustainable solution.
The 4-floor facility will be the first low-barrier shelter in Indianapolis, expected to be finished in 2027. It will hold 150 beds for those experiencing homelessness. The Colts are heading to Pittsburgh this weekend for their Week 9 game against the Steelers. It's a place they haven't won in since 2008. Kickoff is at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. In other Colts news, running back Jonathan Taylor was named AFC Offensive Player of the Month for October. And group play is beginning tonight for the Indiana Pacers in the NBA Cup. Head coach Rick Carlisle on how Mac McClung is fitting in after his first game 2 nights ago.
What we expected,
guy who's aggressive, a pro, a scorer, and very active. He makes things happen out in the court. He's in very good condition for a guy that hasn't played any games, any G League games or any NBA preseason games.
The Pacers take on the Atlanta Hawks tonight, this Halloween night, still looking for their first win of the season. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level on the go and at WIBC.com. Kendall and Casey back in 1 minute.
Football is back, and so are great hairlines. We Grow Hair Indy has helped former local professional football players get back in the game with full natural hair. You don't have to play pro ball to get pro-level results. Hey, it's Rob, and I knew I picked the right team when I needed a Hail Mary for my hair. I called We Grow Hair Indy. Whether you're tailgating, coaching, or watching from the couch, do it with confidence. Trade the sidelines for a hairline. Get back in the game at We Grow Hair Indy. Schedule your free evaluation today at WeGrowHairIndy.com. That's WeGrowHairIndy.com or call 317-522-2995. That's 317-522-2995. Enjoy being out and about this fall. Enjoy watching the games in person with your friends with confidence you haven't had in years. And you can do it with a trip to We Grow Hair Indy. 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. Tell them Rob sent you.
This hour powered by Stevenson Heating and Cooling, your American Standard Air dealer, serving Johnson and Morgan counties.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Okay, we'll get to the government shutdown stuff in just a minute, but I have a very important question to ask you.
Okay.
All of these people in the newsroom are on TikTok all the time now.
Sure.
Like, they come in here, they're on TikTok. I go in there, they're on TikTok.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going in trying to have, like, a conversation with people in the newsroom, and I always got to ask them, are you on the internet? Or can I have an actual, like, work conversation with you? Or
what was the answer?
They're always on the TikTok.
Yeah, the answer was no, we can't because
No.
I'm on live right now.
So I don't know.
We could be live streaming the whole show right now on TikTok if you want.
Okay, but this is my question.
Yeah.
Why is everybody doing this?
Well, because that's a large platform, over 1 billion users globally.
Yeah,
they,
but
they want to get their message out.
But what is that message? Like, we're doing
Whatever they're covering in the newsroom.
Like they're just sitting there at computers. You know, I love Ryan Hedrick more than life itself.
Are they monetizing it?
He's one of the most amazing people. His
Side
story is
hustle.
incredible. Everyone should go watch this or listen to the Supporting Sobriety podcast he does with Matt Bear. It's incredible. He's a great guy. He's an incredible reporter. But I go in there, I'm going to talk to him about something with the radio station. And he's like, hey, man, I'm on the TikTok. And I was like, oh, are you like talking to them about something? He's like, no, I'm just doing the news. I'm like, wait. People just watch you sit at a computer typing?
Yes.
He's like, yes, that's what they do. Why?
I know, it surprises you. Well, they're trying to get their message out, and they're competing against other news organizations that are also on TikTok.
Why are people watching some guy sit at a computer?
Well, I don't know why they would do that. I can't answer.
It's like the people who watch the people play the video games. Kevin, what are they called? Twitch?
Oh, yeah, the Twitch
Snitch?
streamers.
Snitch?
Do you ever go home and
Why?
You ever go home and you're alone and the house is quiet?
Yeah.
And you
for like 4 hours.
Right, and you turn on the TV and you're not watching the TV. You're maybe even in another room, but it's just kind of a habit. You just go, you turn on the TV when you turn the lights on, you get home, and it's just kind of that noise, right, in the background.
Well, first of all, when I go home, I do two things.
Yeah.
I just go, hello, darkness, my old friend.
Okay.
And then I start weeping openly in joy because I have several hours of complete quiet, and then I won't have it will be a tornado that'll be coming through my house. So, no, I don't leave the TV on because I enjoy the silence. But tell me about people who leave the TV on.
Kevin, you ever do that? You ever just turn the TV on even though you're really not watching it?
You know, I don't really watch TV at all anymore.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm completely on the internet. The TV is dead.
Anybody?
So you know, when was wait.
There are people that do that.
Wait. Time out. Before we get back to your bizarre world you live in, when was the last time you turned a television on?
Oh man, it's been probably a year. Probably
Really?
a year ago. Yeah.
So you at no point have said something's on TV and I'm going to like a year since you turned a television on?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, but really, what reason would he have? Because he's not. No, you don't You don't watch the internet on a television. You watch it on your phone or a tablet or whatever.
Yeah, or like laptop. My laptop.
Okay. So Like
not
I watch.
not even like a baseball game.
But he doesn't.
Well, I guess
Kev's not into
I watch
sports.
I watch like games with my family sometimes. Or
But
like,
you didn't physically I want to watch this. I'm turning the
right.
television
I just
on.
don't seek out anything for the TV.
Right. So
I used to, but not anymore.
So would this count because I watch the television, but it's the internet on my television.
Mm-hmm.
I have it on, so it's a bigger screen.
Sure.
But I don't. Yeah. I mean, I don't have cable either. Now you have cable in your house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Even on all your golf tournaments, you're really serious and focused on watching. You don't sometimes just have it on to hear what's going on in the background. You're in the kitchen and it's on in the family room.
Casey, my life is so valuable that a second wasted is harming humanity. I am on the go 24/7. I have no time to waste, and every second is uber valuable. So no, I never just have something on. Is this what you do? Do you need noise that bad? You crave
sometimes,
noise?
Yes. Sometimes, like, if I know that there's a game on, I'm not going to sit and watch every single second of it, but I'll have it on in the background while I'm doing something else.
So I lied. I do turn on the TV.
Lied.
You should run.
So I wasn't. So you were talking about like TV as in like cable.
Yes.
I use my TV, but for YouTube.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying.
But that's the same thing.
But I don't think you.
basically.
Yeah, I don't think we count that because that's what I said. Like you could be watching that on a tab. That's what I do. I have the YouTube, but I have it on the television. But I'm watching something.
Yeah.
Like if it's
So
on.
I guess I do. Yeah.
No, I will have the TV on while I work out, but I'm watching that. But I'm not like uber engaged in it. But
That's
it's
what I'm talking about.
No, I'm listening to whatever the thing I'm watching is.
Right, but you're not sitting there in front of it, glued, eyes on it. But
I am because I'm working out the whole time. It's right in front of me. At no point am I, just moseying around my house. It's right in front of me.
Now that I think more about it, yeah, I basically do that. Mm-hmm. Put on a documentary, maybe not.
How many
pay
cable
attention
channels
to
do
it
you
too
have?
much.
Same thing with TikTok. It's just a.
She's getting so
with the
mad.
TikTok live
She's
and the guys
steaming.
that are just sitting there typing on their computer and people are watching them. It's just a companionship thing.
Have you ever lost it?
I'm about to.
I know. That's why I want to know what we're in for.
Happy Halloween, Rob.
I thought you were going to say something other than Rob. I was so. Have you ever lost it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like in a work environment, have you ever lost it?
I try not to.
I didn't ask you if you try not to. I asked you if you ever had.
No.
No, okay. So
no, never.
So wait. So people.
There's a first for everything, though.
So people just stare at. People are just into staring at people doing nothing.
Yeah, well, it's like I mentioned, it's a companionship thing. There are many people who are alone in this world.
Sure.
And it makes them feel like they are not.
Right.
So they're keeping people company.
I'm not blaming.
Not only are they delivering the news and competing against competition to deliver the news, they're keeping people from feeling alone.
I'm not blaming them because they're in the clicks and listens
Or
and
maybe
whatever
they're
business, right?
monetizing it.
I don't know. I'm not blaming them. I'm saying it is just bizarre to me that you watch people do their jobs like they're not doing the job like, hey, I'm going to be on TikTok doing the news like for the radio station. I'm going to watch you put together the news at your computer.
Correct.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. And this is all like TikTok. That's people do this all over the TikTok.
No, that's not it completely.
Well, I realize
Some
it's more than
people-
just people doing the news, but I'm saying this is the sort of thing that's driving this multi-billion-dollar company.
No, I
is
would say
watching
that's the
people-
only thing. I mean, some people put up highly produced videos. Some people just get on the camera and do a quick hot take. Not everybody deserves a platform or should be on a platform.
So, what's the weirdest legal thing you've ever seen on the TikTok?
What do you mean?
Like somebody doing something, and you're like, I can't believe they're streaming this.
Oh.
What like?
I don't normally watch those though. I prefer like the highly produced or thoughtful videos.
Something that's already been
right. And so if I watch a few of those, that's what gets fed into my algorithm. So the live thing, I don't get a lot of those because I don't engage in it.
It's Friday, so that's why we're doing this. Nobody listens on Friday anyway. It's fine. I'm sure our boss is having an aneurysm at this point. You're supposed to lead the top of the hour with the biggest story, but this is just fascinating to me that people do this. And now we can take a break, and when we come back, we will indeed do the shutdown stuff. I don't understand why people do this.
I'm going to turn on my phone and hit the live feed and make you do the rest of the show.
You can do the rest of the show by yourself. I am not going to be on that. I already got on the TikTok.
You did.
Twice now.
Johnette Cruz, but you walked right up to the camera and you were like, hey, I'm Rob Kendall.
It's a hostile work environment.
Is that what it was?
Hedrick did it
you
too.
You didn't want to engage, but you were forced into it.
What am I going to be, an ass and be like, no?
You would never be like that, would you? Never. You're nice and sweet to her, aren't you? It's Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Tony Katz.
You want to know why people don't trust the government? Coffee's bad for you. No way coffee's fine. Eggs are bad for you. No way eggs are fine. Steak is bad for you. No wait, kale is bad for you. People who eat kale all the time, you're leading miserable, terrible lives, and we see you. My cheekbones, by the way, are all the way up. You just can't see them because I'm so happy. You know how I got happy? Steak.
Tony Katz, mornings 6 to 9 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis is everything that's right about Central Indiana. They've been locally family-owned for 50 years, helping our local economy remain strong by employing 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis is proud to do business right here in the great state of Indiana. They're a conservative-minded company that shares our values and stands by their products and services. You can call Garage Doors of Indianapolis today for service today. 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
Hey guys, it's Rob. You know, it's Friday. That means Sunday's right around the corner. This Sunday, Life Church would love the opportunity to meet and welcome you and your family. They got campuses all across Central Indiana, Noblesville, Fishers, Eagle Creek, and Pendleton. Plus, they got great online services, so you never have to leave your house. You can see what it's all about. You can learn more about their 4 campuses, the online services, events in the community, and so much more at lifechurchin.com.
Are you ready to build your custom dream home? Joyner Homes is ready to make your dream come true. Over 18 years, Joyner Homes, based out of Greenfield, have built hundreds of homes in Central Indiana, and the best place to start is joynerhomes.com. That's where you'll find pricing, photos of completed Joyner homes to inspire you, available home sites, and info on where you can visit their model homes and a lot more. Be sure to check out Joyner Homes' 5-star Google reviews. Get started today at joynerhomes.com.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Ultra, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Ultra helps Mike fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs, so he can wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
As a caregiver, managing your loved one's health can at times be overwhelming. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. In a moment, I'll share 3 tips to help you manage your loved one's medical care effectively.
Cardon & Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Visit cardon.us to find a community near you.
Tip number 1, keep a list of all medications, dosages, and schedules to ensure your loved one is taking their medication correctly. Second, attend doctor's appointments with your loved one when you're able. And finally, stay organized by keeping forms, notes, and other important documents in one secure place. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access a library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
Replace old floors before the holidays with Drexel Interiors and get a free pad with qualifying purchase of new carpeting or luxury vinyl through November 15. Go to drexelin.com for details.
Okay, so now Trump wants to end the filibuster. Is that right?
Yeah.
Put a spell on you.
He posted on his social media, the choice is clear. Initiate the nuclear option. Get rid of the filibuster.
Oh, okay. So when we don't like the way things... This is what the Senate always does, or the sides always do. Whenever they're in charge of the Senate, the filibuster is the worst thing ever. It's preventing democracy in action, or whatever phrase of the day they came up with. It's single-handedly stopping the republic from thriving. But then when they're out of power, oh, it's the greatest thing ever. It's the only thing holding us together as a society. It would be mass calamity if we didn't have it. They just never... It is always convenient. Now, whatever side of it you're on is how you feel about it.
Right. Well, it's what's convenient in the moment, right? Because Democrats have always been against the filibuster until, it could be used against us. Well, let's keep it.
By the way, it's Kendall and Casey Show. I'm Rob. That's Casey. Now, we assume most of our highly informed audience knows what we're talking about, and they do. But for those, we always have, when you have tens of thousands of people finding you every day, some people may be like, filibuster, what? And just a little Civics 101 here. The United States Senate, on most stuff, has a threshold of 60 votes of the 100 senators, not whether they're going to vote for it, but whether they will vote on it. And if you do not get on most things, now judges, some appointments by the president, et cetera, are not tied to that. But for most things, there's a 60 vote threshold of which this government funding bill is tied to. And thus far, while there is a majority of senators who want to reopen the government and pass the government funding bill, there are not 60 senators who have agreed to vote on it, and thus we have a closed government.
Mm-hmm. I'd be okay going back to a talking filibuster. Like, if you're going to do it, at least you have to get up there and work for it.
Yes. So what Casey is alluding to, and she is correct, that now in terms of a filibuster, basically the senators can just declare filibuster.
It's silent, though.
Yeah, and you don't have to get up there and talk. Back in the day, as the kids say, back in the day, you used to have to keep going in order to not vote on something. So if you wanted to filibuster, now sometimes if a guy read the phone book for 4 days, they'd just say, all right, we fold. This is a ridiculous waste of time. We can't do any other business. Let's just move on. And that is how it would work. Now, they don't have to read the phone book. They don't have to sing songs. Used to be some fun stuff those guys would figure out to do to keep the thing going. Some of it's legendary. He went for X amount of days to blah, blah. Now they call it a talking filibuster. Sometimes these guys will get up there to prove a point, blow V8, whatever. One of these guys just recently talked for 20-some-odd hours or something.
Wasn't it Jeffries? Hakeem Jeffries?
No, that was in the... he's a House member. There was one of these Democrats
right.
that just got up and talked for 20-some-odd hours about nothing. Cory Booker did it recently on something. But there was one related to this thing that somebody got up and made an idiot out of themselves.
But that's the thing. If they go back to a talking filibuster, at least...
Sure, you make them earn it.
Right, make them earn it, and everybody can see how ridiculous it is.
You know, I had a Little League coach that used to shout out from the dugout to the guy that was batting, make them play the game. And what he meant by that is just hit the ball. It's Little League. These kids are 10 years old. The chance of them fielding it and throwing it to the correct base and that guy catching it and whatever is slim. Don't try to hit a home run. Just hit the ball and make them play the game. Same thing here. They should have to play the game. If you're going to filibuster, your life should be ruined the same way our life is being ruined for having you as our reps and senators.
So Senator John Curtis, he's a Republican from Utah, and he's opposed to getting rid of the filibuster. He said power changes hands, but principles shouldn't. They've been doing it this way for years. So,
well, the filibuster exists because the United States Senate is made up of 100 people who believe they should be president. Period. The United States Senate is made up of 100 people who believe they should be president of the United States. And as such, those people bestowed immense power on themselves in which each individual senator had an ability to essentially, if they desire in some shape, form, or fashion, disrupt the progress or the outcome of the federal government because they believed they should be the ones calling the shots. That's why the filibuster exists. It is the hubris and arrogance of the United States Senate and the United States senators who all believe they're the most important person in the country.
So Mike Johnson, during his daily press conference, he said he's getting an avalanche of calls. And yesterday, you had the CEO of United Airlines. He was standing right next to J.D. Vance, and he was demanding that Democrats do their job and open the government.
Start by really thanking the professionals, the air traffic controllers, the folks at the TSA, also the FAA, the people in management. They're working hard. They are keeping the skies safe. They've minimized delays. Fewer than 2% of flights have been delayed so far because of the air traffic control shortage. So they've done a great job. But it's putting stress on people. It's not fair to those people. It's also putting stress on the economy. You know, the first couple of weeks this had no impact on the economy, but as every day goes by, the impacts start to grow. And airlines are a pretty good real-time indicator of the economy, and we start to see, still minor, but steep booking impact. And you see that happening in the economy. We put the whole economy at risk. And so it's been 30 days, and while I don't have a position on which partisan side and how things should be settled with healthcare, it has been 30 days. I also think it is time to pass a clean CR, use that as the opportunity to get into a room behind closed doors and negotiate hard on the real and substantive issues that the American people want our politicians on both sides of the aisle to solve. But let's get a clean CR and get that negotiation done behind closed doors without the pressure.
Interesting. He said behind closed doors multiple times there. Why does it have to be behind closed doors?
Because they don't want you to know while they're screwing you.
Oh, got it. I thought it was also interesting that he had mentioned how this is impacting the economy. The thing that concerns me more than anything is the safety of people. Because now you've got these air traffic controllers that aren't showing up, and it's left to the supervisors who are maintaining it. And consider how many thousands of airplanes are in the sky right now.
You know how to be not be unsafe on a plane?
Right, I know. Don't get on the flying death tube.
There you go. You know who's not impacted at all by this?
You?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got to get on a plane soon.
Yeah.
Are you nervous?
A week from today.
Are you nervous?
Maybe a little.
I mean, it's already hard enough.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got the potential delays, etc.
Right.
But then you got fewer people, and the people that are working, they're going to be more tired. I will just tell you, with the OCD, I could not get on an airplane like right now and not be able to. Not that that's a concern of mine, but I would not. If I had a scheduled flight, I would say we're not going.
Yeah,
it would be too much for me.
Could also cancel it.
Here's what I want to come back to. It's the disingenuousness of the Republicans. We know what the Democrats are. We know what they are. They tell us what they are. But the Republicans, and we've mentioned this for several weeks now on our show, are being completely disingenuous because they will not use the best messaging at their disposal. If their goal is to win in the court of public opinion, all they have to say is, we're just passing Joe Biden's government. Why are the Democrats suddenly against Joe Biden's government? No, they can't and won't say that because they know if they said it out loud, it would dawn on people, hey, these people ran on how bad Biden was and how Biden was corrupt and he was old and he was feeble and he'd lost his marbles and some shadow government was running everything and they're just passing his government. Oh, maybe they're full of it, Casey. It isn't the word I want to use. It's the only word I can use. Maybe these people are full of it. The other thing they should say is, we're going to pass these Obamacare subsidies after you reopen the government. Can't say that, though, because they've run for 15 years on getting rid of Obamacare, and they have an opportunity to do it. They're not going to do it. But as usual, the Republicans are full of it.
So here's John Fetterman, and he says that his party is just scared of the far left base of his party.
As a Democrat, I am incredibly, I've been disappointed, and I refuse to have a political gamble that's going to put those kinds of food security for 42 million Americans at risk on this. Now, some people might be afraid of the extreme left, but I am not one. I am not one of those Dems.
42s of millions of Americans. That's where we're still at with Fetterman. 42s of millions of Americans.
Well, and you have to ask yourself, when somebody like him says, he wants to end the government shutdown because of the people that are on SNAP benefits within his state, is he being sincere or is he really afraid that he'll get primaried?
Well, there's no talk here from any of these people about how to help you. Do you notice that? There's no talk about making food more affordable. There's no talk about getting inflation under control. There's no talk about reestablishing the free flow of goods and services in this country that make it possible to even buy some things that aren't available. There's no talk of any of that. And again, they're crying rivers of tears over these Obamacare people. I bet your insurance is going to go up again this year. Anybody crying for you? Anybody trying to help you? Anybody worried? They're so worried about these people on government assistance getting their government freebies, many of them who could go work. Anybody worried about the price of food for you? No, of course not. These people don't give a damn about you at all.
We've got
exclamation point.
Yeah, news from across the pond that we're going to get into next on 93 WIBC.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. I know finding a dream engagement ring can be overwhelming, but don't worry, we got you. As director of diamond sourcing, it's my job to make sure every single diamond at Shane Company is truly the best of the best. Our team travels the world to see diamonds up close, in person. We handpick each one for its unique fire, brilliance, and scintillation. Diamond buying is an art. Of course, we look at cut, color, clarity, and carat, known as the 4 C's, but that's not all. We also look at how each diamond looks on a hand, where it will be worn, how it makes you feel, and if it's worthy of a Shane Company customer. That type of expertise only comes from working for a company that's been a family business since 1929. We also think about your budget. We only pick the best in each grade in all shapes and sizes. Your diamond is guaranteed to be the most beautiful because a friend wants you to pick from only the best. Drop by your store or shaneco.com and see for yourself. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
As a caregiver, managing your loved one's health can at times be overwhelming. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. In a moment, I'll share 3 tips to help you manage your loved one's medical care effectively.
Cardon & Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Visit cardon.us to find a community near you.
Tip number 1, keep a list of all medications, dosages, and schedules to ensure your loved one is taking their medication correctly. Second, attend doctor's appointments with your loved one when you're able. And finally, stay organized by keeping forms, notes, and other important documents in one secure place. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access a library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
He says to get rid of it. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 10:30, brought to you by Window Nation. President Trump taking to Truth Social to push for Senate Republicans to get rid of the filibuster so that the government shutdown can be ended with 51 votes instead of 60.
Senate Republicans who have pushed back against ending the filibuster have argued that it weakens the minority party. It lowers that threshold from 60 votes down to a simple majority. And by weakening the minority party, it would be very useful right now, but it's also a position that they see themselves in at some point in the future. And President Trump acknowledged that in a Truth Social post. He also argued that any future Democrat Senate majority would likely to just try and do that, but on their terms, giving this prompt. It is now time for the Republicans to play their Trump card and go for what is called the nuclear option, get rid of the filibuster and get rid of it now.
Fox's Alexandria Hoff reporting. A recent Fox News poll is showing likely voters in New York City's mayoral race favor Democratic candidate Zohran Mamdani over independent Andrew Cuomo by 16%. Cuomo called his Democratic opponent a socialist.
New York has no long-term future as a socialist city. We believe in corporate America. We believe in entrepreneurism. We believe in opportunity. We believe in jobs. We believe in business. That's what makes the engine run.
Cuomo also called Republican candidate Curtis Sliwa a spoiler in the race. Sliwa has repeatedly said he has no plans of dropping out. Election day is on Tuesday. The U.S. is condemning the Trump administration's military strikes on suspected drug shipping boats in the Caribbean and Pacific as a human rights violation. The Trump administration says those boats were loaded with people and supplies that are deadly to Americans. And more investors are coming forward for a new stock exchange in Dallas. JP Morgan is one of those in a group investing millions in the exchange for Texas. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hi, this is Richard Stevenson. Need heating service in Johnson, Morgan, or Hendricks County? Give us a call, 317-557-8532.
Stevenson Heating and Cooling is your independent American Standard air dealer.
Transform your home with Galaxy Concrete Coatings. You can say goodbye to cracked, stained, and dirty old floors and hello to durable, stunning surfaces that last. Their cutting-edge technology ensures a beautiful finish every time, and you get to pick out the color. Upgrade your home today by calling Galaxy Concrete Coatings. They're for garage floors, driveways, pool decks, and patios, and they come with a lifetime warranty and one-day professional installation. The phone number, 877-417-0635. You can find them online, too. GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com.
If you're experiencing a hardship and need to quickly sell your home, we may be able to help. Simple Quarters has helped over 3,000 families sell their homes in Indiana.
Simple Quarters has helped me by allowing me to sell my house. It's given me the financial stability to be able to move and go on with that next chapter. Simple Quarters was the best option for me because there was no BS involved. It was simply straightforward, to the point, honesty. And that is what made me go with Simple Quarters. There was nothing that I didn't expect. They didn't have hidden fees. They didn't ask me to go get an appraisal. They didn't ask me to have a surveyor come out. This has probably been one of the easiest experiences in my life. And if I ever have to do it again, I would call Simple Quarters again. Simple Quarters absolutely kept their word through the whole process.
Call Simple Quarters 317-900-HOME. 317-900-HOME.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun, brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
So after decades, the Royals are finally getting tough with Prince Andrew.
Yeah.
Boy, they'll show him, won't they?
Yeah, it appears like it. So they put out a statement from Buckingham Palace yesterday, and one of the biggest lines in the whole statement, it's 3 paragraphs long, were these censures are deemed necessary, notwithstanding the fact that he continues to deny the allegations against him. Of course, they're talking about Prince Andrew, or now the former Prince Andrew. King Charles initiated the process to strip him of all his royal styles, titles, and honors.
Okay, by the way, it's Kendall Casey show. I'm Rob. That's Casey. Now, this all relates to Prince Andrew's alleged ties to Jeffrey Epstein, and that there was a victim now deceased, I believe she committed suicide, who was adamant that Prince Andrew was one of the people who did horrific things to her as a part of Jeffrey Epstein's whatever you want to call it, sex trafficking operation, or whatever word you want to describe it. And look, this stuff was out there forever, and she was out there forever saying this. And then once the hammer finally came down on Epstein for good, now people forget, they had Epstein before in Florida, and they basically let him off the hook with a slap on the wrist, and then he allegedly went right back to doing all the stuff he was doing.
Wasn't Pam Bondi the Attorney General when
was
that
that?
happened?
Well, you may very well be correct, but no, I don't think that's right. She's the Attorney General just before now. That wouldn't have. But this was years ago. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Point is, Prince Andrew was allegedly for years tied into this. I haven't seen any. Well, there was a flight log that just came out, right? That's what it was.
That, and because of that memoir put out by Virginia Giuffre, the book called Nobody's Girl, which has kind of reignited some of the scrutiny, and there were some emails. But
they knew all this stuff. It's not like
and he continues to deny it.
He's the guy's brother. It's not like he's the king of England. He was the prince before. Charles was the king in waiting before that. His mother was the queen. They have $1 gajillion at their disposal. I don't believe for one damn second that they didn't know who this guy was and what he's doing. How old is Prince Andrew now? He's got to almost be 70 years old, right? Because Charles is in his late 70s. Prince Andrew.
I'm going to say he's 75.
75. Kev, what is your guess? Price is Right rules, you go over, you lose. How old is Prince Andrew? Casey's in at 75.
73.
He's 63. You both lose. I win the Showcase Showdown. I would have thought he was older than that. Point is, though, they've known this stuff. It's been out there forever. And he's a 65-year-old man, so I'm not saying he's going to kick the bucket tomorrow, but in the latter stages of his life, after he's enjoyed these decades of spoils as being a part of the royal family, now we're getting tough with them. Spare me.
Yeah, he's got to vacate the Royal Lodge, and he's going to relocate to a different estate, privately funded property, right? And
a different estate.
Yep, he's now going to go by Andrew Mountbatten Windsor.
Oh, he can't use the name Prince Charles anymore.
Prince Andrew.
Or, I'm sorry, Prince Andrew. Yes,
but
I'm sorry.
Here's the thing. I mean, you can't unprince a prince. He's still,
I don't know, can you?
By birth, a prince.
You can do whatever you want, can't you? They're the royal family. They just make it up as they go along.
I guess so.
I mean, how many years did...
He's going to lose his Order of the Garter and his Knight Guard Cross of the Victorian Order
I mean,
honors. His daughters, by the way, are retaining their titles.
Isn't that how the Church of England became a thing? Was the one guy got mad that the Pope wouldn't let him get a divorce, so he just I just declare
Henry VIII.
I just declare myself the head of the church. I mean,
they would not give him a
they've been making it up for hundreds of
dispensation.
years, Casey. It's not like they can't just pull it out of their backside.
Yes, that is how the Church of England began, because Henry VIII wanted to divorce Catherine of Aragon and marry Anne Boleyn.
Did he put her in a tower?
Catherine of Aragon?
Yeah.
No.
She got out.
He shipped her off somewhere else.
Yeah, that was a bad guy to marry. It didn't end well for most people. Anyway, is he the one that threw the people in the tower?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I'm not up as on my English history as I should be. Point in all this is, so what? Like, what are you? I mean, the guy's 65 years old. Why didn't you do this 20 years ago? You're not going to tell me now that they have learned anything new that they didn't already know that's coming out and all this stuff, and that they didn't know what he was for this entire time.
Well, I feel like the heat is sort of ratcheting up ever since this memoir came out, and he continues to deny it. So instead of getting an answer out of him or the truth, they're just shaming him at this point.
Sure, but they're complicit in it in the sense of they did nothing. They did nothing for all these years when they knew exactly what the guy was, and they knew these allegations that were out there. And clearly they must now suddenly believe that there's something to this based on the fact that they're, yes, Pam Bondi, by the way, you were correct. She was I don't know if she was there that long. 2011 to 2019. So you were correct to go back to what you said earlier about her being in Florida with the FC stuff. Yeah. Well, I was agreeing with you. I wasn't disagreeing with you last time. I'm trying. See, this is why I don't even go back to try to give you credit, because you just want to be smart about it. And I was trying to give you credit for being correct, but I've learned my lesson on that.
So King Charles, he acted under royal prerogative. Can you imagine that?
He acted under what?
Royal prerogative.
What the hell is that?
Yeah, instead of using parliamentary procedure or getting the parliament involved there, it's royal prerogative.
Oh. So anyway, this is all ridiculous. But the bigger issue is not whether this guy is a scumbag. He was. It's not whether he was involved in this. He clearly was. It's Jeffrey Epstein didn't sex traffic to no one. There were people that he was doing this for and doing this with, and I'm not going to for a second believe it was just Prince Andrew. Like, this is the bigger story is clearly there was stuff going on. Clearly this guy was harming these women. Clearly this guy was servicing these women to someone, and it wasn't just, hey, they're all here for Andrew, and yet we just continue as a country, our government, we can't even get some woman sworn into Congress because our Republican-led House of Representatives is worried about the Epstein stuff coming out. There is a woman in Arizona right now who has for weeks, maybe a month now, I don't know how long it's been, won a special election, a Democrat, and she would be the final vote necessary for the, what do they call it, the discharge petition for these Epstein files. And Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, refuses to swear her in. There is zero reason not to. It doesn't affect the outcome of the government shutdown vote or any of that. The only thing she would have an impact on right now is whether she would sign that discharge petition for these Epstein files, and they will not swear her in. The Republicans, for some reason, do not want this Epstein stuff coming out, and everybody should be asking why.
Isn't it interesting, though, that you've got the Prince of Wales, William?
Which one's he?
William.
William.
He said that he was infuriated over Andrew's comments, his denial, pretty much, of ever knowing Virginia Giuffre, or he said he didn't even remember it. And now that Charles is getting a little older, like, William is stepping up saying, we're done here. You're out.
Well, I think William is, in his own way, sort of acknowledged the storm that he is about to walk into, not only based on the family stuff, but what has happened to that country. I mean, it has been overrun through immigration and they're not going to have a country before too long if they don't step up and get it together. And I think he recognizes there ain't going to be no king or queen if, in 20 years, if we don't, get things going in the right direction. And so I'm sure the family dynamic is part of it. I'm sure he's just like, I'm going to inherit a colossal mess. I mean, even look at his brother, Harry. Look at what a dumpster fire that guy is. Like, that whole family, I mean, it's obviously been this way for generations, is completely screwed up. And I'm glad I don't live there.
It's also being reported that Prince Andrew was jealous of Kate Middleton and said some disparaging things about her. And so Prince William.
Jealous of what? He wanted to be married to
that
William?
She'll be queen.
Oh.
Because for many years, Andrew was second in line. And then when William came along, that it kept pushing him down.
Well, yeah, okay. Okay, so how's it, help me real quick. You're the lifestyle person here. How's it work? As soon as William was born, did he automatically become the heir to the throne, or do you have to be a certain age in order to...
No, he automatically did.
So as soon as, the 1980s, Andrew was out, right? There was
Correct.
no path as long as William was alive.
And then when Harry was born, he got pushed down even more in the line of succession.
Okay.
And then when William and Kate had children, he kept getting pushed down farther and farther in the line of succession.
So
at one point, he was second in line.
So if something had happened to Charles, and this is apropos of nothing, but I'm just curious, if something had happened to Charles, would Andrew have gotten it if William was alive? Like Charles has a son, right?
No.
It would have automatically gone to William as soon as William was born.
Correct.
So Andrew was out.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of know that when you're born. You know you're the younger one, and you know as long as you're... Because even if Charles had had a girl, she would have become the Queen of England, right? So you kind of know the deal. And what, are we supposed to cry a bunch of tears for this guy that he's lived this life of pamper and luxury because he never got to be king because he was the second born? Are they painting him as some sort of sympathetic figure?
No, I don't think anybody's trying to paint him as a victim or sympathetic figure. In fact, they're kicking him out.
Yeah.
So it is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Coming up on Tony Katz today, the shutdown is still happening and Trump has blown it all up. I'll have that after the news at noon on 93 WIBC.
Everybody knows Hubler's got the best warranty around. 10 years, 200,000 miles. But did you know? Now you can get that same limited powertrain warranty on new Toyotas. Introducing the all-new Hubler Toyota. Get grand opening savings all month long. And right now, lease a new 2025 RAV4, just $349 per month. Or a new Tacoma, $289 per month. Plus, choose from Camrys, Corollas, Highlanders, Tundras, and more.
Hubler's got you covered.
At the all-new Hubler Toyota on US 31 South in Indianapolis. Visit HublerToyota.com. Grand opening savings and the best warranty around. 10 years, 200,000 miles.
Cover me!
Select models, approved credit, plus tax tag, title license, 249 dealer doc, RAV4 model 4432, Tacoma model 7540, 36 months, $29.99 due, zero security, 10,000 annual miles, 15 cents per mile thereafter, expires 11/2.
Hey guys, it's Rob for my friend Mark Dietel. And, Mark Dietel, one of the greatest, in fact, real estate agent in all of central Indiana. And he wants you to know this, that the Indianapolis real estate market is strong, but not easy. Now is a good time to sell only if you hire a real estate team that knows how to aggressively market your home like the great Mark Dietel and his realty team. Perhaps you're worried with a challenging market, you won't sell your home for the price it's worth. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Michael in Speedway had to say about working with Mark Dietel. I loved my Speedway home and I raised my family there, but it was time to sell and downsize. I met with the Mark Dietel team and they explained their amazing marketing plan and I was convinced. Just like the Speedway, things moved fast from there. After just 3 days on the market, I accepted an offer for $11,000 over asking price. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Dietel 317-755-4232 for all the details or go online to markdietel.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Hi, it's T. Brian Hayes here from the Retirement Money Matter Show. There's no denying that retirement planning is a sophisticated and complicated process. In fact, getting to and surviving retirement can be like navigating your way through a minefield. There are several retirement traps you must avoid. Join me this weekend as we discuss these traps in detail and arm you with the information you need to survive. The Retirement Money Matter Show, Airs this Saturday morning at 6 a.m. right here on WIBC.
Of all the times to buy a new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, or Aviator. Plus get a $1,000 Tom Roush Trade Assist bonus. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
Subject to credit approval. Not all buyers will qualify. See dealer for complete offer details. Offer ends 10/31/2025.
eBay has reinvented vehicle buying. From click to curb, everything's covered. Ever try to buy a car online and end up in a parking lot with a stranger and some blind trust? That era is over. Now with Secure Purchase, eBay isn't just where you find your car. It's where you buy it, start to finish. Title, financing, registration, delivery, it's all built in. This is the modern way to buy your next ride on eBay. eBay. Things people love. Secure Purchase is powered by Caramel Dealer Services, LLC, an eBay subsidiary.
Join us every Friday right around 5:50 for Beer Sample Friday.
Brought to you by Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus, home of free delivery within 75 miles of their store.
See a wreck on 465? Find a new pothole on your way to work? You can let Matt Bear know and help out your fellow travelers. Text WIBC to 317-239-9393 and join the text club.
Oh. This song is 50 years old today.
Wow. So, October 31st, 1975. Now, this is the Queen's Stairway to Heaven, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this would be their... Is this, if you were to say... See, Queen's interesting. By the way, it's Kendall Casey show. I'm Rob. That's Casey. Kev is our producer. This is Queen's interesting because what would be their Stairway to Heaven or Freebird? Because... We Will Rock You is so popular, right? Even though I think this is the production value and all this and the complexities of it and everything else, Bohemian Rhapsody is probably it. But boy, you could have a real debate to the average person. If you stopped someone in the street and said, "What is the first song you think of when you think of Queen?" I think you might get a lot of people who would say, "We Will Rock You."
Either, yeah, We Are the Champions, perhaps, but that would definitely be top. One or two.
Okay, so let me ask you about this because you were music radio was your bread and butter for many years. They always play We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions like it's one track, right? But technically it's two different songs.
Correct.
So do you count them separately? It's like with the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper always runs right into, with a little help from my friends because of the way it sounded on the track and the editing, and Jackson Browne's The Load Out and Stay always run together as one track on radio stations. But you technically count We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions as two separate things?
Depends on the radio station. Some would, some wouldn't. I was at 94.7 WCSX, the classic rock station in Detroit, and you would put the CD player on continue. So it would go from like the, We Will Rock You into, it would be one track. But then there's other stations that don't do that.
I don't know if I ever heard somebody cut it off. There were stations who would just cut it off at the end of We Will Rock You and not go into We Are the Champions.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, a lot of that would have to do with the time, too.
Oh, right.
Because obviously they're longer.
Back in the day when you used CD players. That's how long you've been in radio. Well, I mean, you look great for 65 years old. Oh. And I think you've done a wonderful job all these years.
Thank you.
In radio.
I'm well preserved.
I mean, you started the phonograph was still a thing.
I know.
And you've evolved. I'm kidding. Anyway, hey, speaking
got
of
two
old,
turntables and a microphone.
Speaking of old stuff, look, we've got a real problem here in the studio.
Right.
I found this, and I have the 2010 vision. I can go all the way through the eye chart, and it's I can read the bottom
to the bottom line.
So from a distance, I see this binder that's in our air studio. Now look, we're getting ready to move studios here pretty soon, and
they did just tell us start packing.
Yeah, they said maybe December.
You're going to need more time than me.
Well, I'm going to throw a bunch of things away. So those of you who don't know, my office is just basically a display unit. Like, it's not an office. I don't use it like sit down and do stuff. I just have displayed. Many of you people have sent me stuff over the years, and maybe I'll take a big picture of it sometime.
You should.
It's it's organized, right? Like, I've got it to where it looks nice, but it's like just a display of all the stuff that I've been sent over the years as you, the listeners, and it's going to be bad because the new place we're going, we don't have offices. Anyway, I see this binder from across the room, and it says Indians 2000 on it, and I'm like, what? Surely this binder has not been in here since the year 2000. But I come over to it.
same label.
Yeah, but
just an old label.
But then I start looking at what's in the binder.
Uh-huh.
And I think it may have been in here since the year 2000.
Really?
Because when you open up the notebook, it says local programming. It's clearly a very old piece of paper. One of the first things you come to as you flip through it is syndicated programming. You want to guess what the first thing I came to on the syndicated programming was?
What is it?
The Rush Limbaugh Show Weekend Review,
Mm-hmm.
effective date, Saturday, January 3rd, 2009.
Wow.
Next page, I go to Coast with George Norrie, which I think we still run on this radio station on overnights. Effective date, December 27th, 2004. Next page, let's see, the Wall Street Journal, this weekend, first news. This looks like print from the 80s, so there's no effective date on it that I can see.
Yeah.
The next page, it's something from Kim Commando with, you know how they used to when you'd fax things, they would have the date and time it was faxed. Case, would you like to guess what date this was faxed over?
2005.
May 29, 2002.
Okay.
And then
Been around for a while.
Last is the Bill Cunningham, live Sunday nights with Bill Cunningham, October 7th, 2007. So this binder may very well have been sitting in here, Kev, collecting dust since
from 2000.
That's historic.
Yeah, well, it is, but I think it's going to end up historically in a trash. Although this Indians binder may be collector's item for somebody because it is the Indianapolis Indians.
I turned to the Rush Limbaugh page again.
Yes. How may I help you here?
Because it's a clock, and that tells the producers when to play the commercials, when,
Right.
for example, when Rush would be talking.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
When they play the national commercials,
Yeah.
when they play the local commercials, and you got the Kim Commando in there. I wonder if those have changed at all. Like, I mean, obviously Rush is not with us anymore.
Right.
So that's not pertinent. But, like, the Kim Commando, like, is it the same clock? Is she still using the same format that she was back in 2002.
Now, for example, this will be fascinating to like radio nerds, and I don't know if the Rush. This was a weekend review, so it was the weekend show that Rush had, where I think they just took the best of, and then maybe he did some editorial commentary on them. But like, I don't know if the actual Rush clock worked out this way, but essentially he would come on at 06, so 106. You'd hear the "My City Was Gone" sounder. He would then talk, according to this, until just after 16. And then 2 minutes of local spots, 2 minutes of network spots. Then he would come back in at 20. He would talk again on this program until 30. It was all local for 4 minutes at 30. He would come back in at 34, go to 43. 2 minutes of network, 1 minute of local. 46 to 53 was Rush. 1 minute of network, 2 minutes of local, a quick segment at the end, and then you get to the local to the top of the hour. That was your Rush Limbaugh clock, baby.
Yep. This is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
If you're experiencing a hardship and need to quickly sell your home, we may be able to help. Simple Quarters has helped over 3,000 families sell their homes in Indiana.
Simple Quarters has helped me by allowing me to sell my house. It's given me the financial stability to be able to move and go on with that next chapter. Simple Quarters was the best option for me because there was no BS involved. It was simply straightforward, to the point, honesty, and that is what made me go with Simple Quarters. There was nothing that I didn't expect. They didn't have hidden fees. They didn't ask me to go get an appraisal. They didn't ask me to have a surveyor come out. This has probably been one of the easiest experiences in my life. And if I ever have to do it again, I would call Simple Quarters again. Simple Quarters absolutely kept their word through the whole process.
Call Simple Quarters 317-900-HOME. 317-900-HOME.
Attention, Indiana homeowners. Are you tired of avoiding your wet basement? Hi, I'm Mike Smith with Swainco Crawl Space and Basement Repair, your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts. Imagine all the possibilities of a guaranteed dry basement, a cozy new family room, a home gym, or even a new office. And with no interest, no payment financing, you don't have to break the bank to do it. Make the most of your basement today. Call Swainco 317-407-1868 or swaincollc.com.
The big fall sale is here at Sundown Gardens.
Visit the Garden Center for 20% off interior fall decor and 50% off pottery. It's the best deals of the season. All container trees and shrubs are now 30 to 50% off. Now's a great time to add to your landscape and save while you're doing it. The friendly staff at Sundown Gardens can help you add all the right touches to your home and landscape. Sundown Gardens, located on the corner of 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield, sundown.gardens.com.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Drexel Interiors has teamed up with Mohawk for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. A portion of October's Mohawk sales will be donated to the Susan G. Komen Foundation. Visit either showroom or drexelin.com today.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, why FBI agents ended up arresting a Marine traveling through Indiana, how a man died last night in downtown Indianapolis, what the city is breaking ground for this week and how it helps those who are homeless, and when and where your favorite college teams are playing this weekend. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. Time for Fox News. It's 11 o'clock.
Pick up the phone. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what House Speaker Mike Johnson is urging Americans to do on day 31 of the government shutdown.
Call the Senate Democrats and tell them to stop the nonsense. Echo the voices of the unions, of the airlines, of hardworking people everywhere, and tell them to stop doing this and open the government.
Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins also just said,
millions of Americans, as of tomorrow, will no longer receive SNAP and potentially WIC or even a paycheck.
Referencing furloughed federal workers off the job and even those like air traffic controllers who have to keep working without pay, prompting some to call out sick and even work a second job, leading to thousands of flight delays with long ones this morning at airports in Austin, Texas and Nashville, Tennessee. As for WIC, the Women, Infant, Children's Nutrition Program, and SNAP food assistance, there's a legal attempt to keep funding all that.
Democratic attorneys general and governors suing the Trump administration over its decision not to tap emergency funds for SNAP. The judge in this case says Congress has put money in an emergency fund. It's hard for me to understand how this isn't an emergency when there's no money and a lot of people are needing their SNAP benefits.
That's Fox's Jackie Heinrich. President Trump on Truth Social called on Republicans in the Senate to enact the nuclear option and get rid of the filibuster that Democrats have used to block government funding. They say the shutdown is all Republicans' fault for refusing to add provisions to the bill to extend Obamacare subsidies that'll expire at year's end, warning a spike in the cost of health coverage is coming for millions of Americans. As Hurricane Melissa moves away from the last island on its path, Bermuda, there is a lot of devastation and need for help from Cuba to Jamaica, where Melissa hit as one of the most powerful storms ever.
Lots of houses been wrecked, lots of family been outside, nowhere to sleep, no food to eat. But just hope and pray for the best.
The hurricane's blamed for 50 deaths, at least 19 in Jamaica, 31 in flooding Melissa caused in Haiti. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Why they arrested a U.S. Marine. Sunny, 48 on Monument Circle. Will be mostly sunny today. For trick-or-treating, the high around 56. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 11:02. FBI agents arresting a U.S. Marine recently after they say he kidnapped and sexually assaulted a girl. Jake McDaniel reports.
Last Friday, William Richard Roy traveled from North Carolina to Chicago, then took an Uber over to Hammond, Indiana the next day. Roy met the girl at a park, took her back to Chicago, and then traveled by bus to North Carolina. Roy was arrested and charged, and the girl was recovered. This was after FBI agents spotted them when the bus arrived on Sunday. Agents began looking into this after they say the girl's grandma said she was missing on Saturday. Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A man is dead after police say he was struck by someone driving a minivan in downtown Indianapolis Thursday night. IMPD says it happened at the intersection of South Illinois and West Maryland streets. The man taken to a hospital in critical condition but died there. The driver of the minivan stayed at the scene and cooperated with investigators. The city of Indianapolis is breaking ground this this week on its first publicly constructed emergency shelter. The Housing Hub, which will be situated just a few blocks southeast of the I-65, I-70 interchange, will be 4 floors with 150 beds for homeless individuals and families.
And yet tonight, there will be many in our city that will not have a warm place to seek shelter.
According to the Coalition for Homelessness Intervention and Prevention in Indianapolis, around 1,800 people in Marion County don't have housing. The downtown project costs $32 million and will be finished sometime in 2027. Notre Dame's offensive line working in a next man up mentality. Len Clark reports from South Bend.
When starting center Ashton Craig went down, redshirt freshman Joe Otting stepped up and made his first career start against USC. The result? The Irish rolled for 306 yards rushing, their best output of the season.
You never know when your opportunity is going to arise here, and to always stay ready. It's what we take pride in, that next man up mentality.
Otting's performance helped keep Notre Dame's ground game dominant, proving that in South Bend, the next man in is always ready. Len Clark, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And the 12th ranked Irish are coming off their bye week. They have Boston College tomorrow at 3:30. Also kicking off at 3:30, the number 2 Hoosiers are at Maryland. Purdue is on the road as well. They battle Michigan at 7. And tonight, the Pacers are back at home hosting the Atlanta Hawks on Halloween night. Indiana still trying to capture that first win of the season. Tip-off is at 7. I'm Jarrett Lewis on The Level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Why do so many foundation, basement, and crawl space companies ask for half your money up front? Could it be because that's easier to get than earning all your trust? At the Michaelis Corporation, they believe trust is earned, not demanded. That's why they do things differently. They start with a free inspection, no strings attached, to give you an honest assessment of what your home needs. No pressure, no surprises. When it's time for the work, they don't ask for a deposit or any upfront payment. Not a single dollar until the job is complete and you're 100% satisfied. That's how they've been earning trust for over 39 years. Whether it's sagging floors, moisture control, concrete repair, or a full crawl space encapsulation, you can count on Michaelis for repairs that last. Don't trust just anyone with your home. Choose the company that puts your trust first. Text or call 844-FIXED-INDY today. That's 844-FIXED-INDY. The Michaelis Corporation, building trust beneath your feet.
This hour powered by Stevenson Heating and Cooling, your American Standard Air dealer, serving Johnson and Morgan counties.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Okay, so we got to get to this polling on Trump, which is interesting in the shutdown. But before we do that, I did want to let everybody know, if you head over to @RobMKendall on Twitter, I posted, because look, we know this, and I love this about our audience, anything that has to do with Rush Limbaugh, and because Rush was, of course, nationally beloved, but was a huge part of this radio station for many, many years, and he's a huge reason many people came to listen to this radio station, certainly in its current form. We found in this binder, we were laughing about it last hour, we found the old Rush Limbaugh. We're cleaning things out, getting ready to move, and we found the old Rush Limbaugh show clock, and we were talking about the ins and outs and when he'd be on the air and when local station times were. And if you'd like to see that, you can go over to @RobMKendall on Twitter. I've got it up there, @RobMKendall. Man, it just brings back a flood of memories, Casey, seeing that, and that's so cool. And, it is interesting, too, how, Rush passed away. Man, it's almost been 5 years ago now, which doesn't seem possible. He passed away in early 2021. And just how much, not just the political landscape, but the political media landscape has changed in the past 5 years. Because, everything centered around sort of especially in the right, everything's sort of centered around Rush. Everybody looked to Rush, and there were other people who had radio shows, and there were other people who had podcasts 5 years ago, and in the years building up to that, I'm not saying there weren't, and they were influential in communities, etc., but everything's sort of centered around Rush. Everybody still went to Rush each day to see where the conservative movement was, what it was thinking, how it was interpreting things, and when Rush passed away, nobody filled that vacuum. And I know they put those two...
Many people try.
Well, I know they put those two guys on in his place, and that's been a disaster, and everybody knew that was going to be a disaster because there was just not even indictment of those guys, but nobody was going to be able to fill Rush's void, and it was ridiculous to think those two guys were going to be able to do it, and they haven't. And what you've seen is sort of a splintering and a fracturing of how people get information, how people consume content, where they get it from, who they listen to, and I think it's led to sort of a much more diverse group of thought on all ends of the spectrum inside the conservative movement, because people aren't going to that central hub anymore to sort of get, hey, here's what Dad's going to tell us about today.
Right, the one message that goes out to everywhere. Interesting, because out of that clock, if I'm doing some quick math, it was an hour-long clock, but Rush was only speaking for 38 minutes and 50 seconds.
Which is about right. I mean, I bet if you look at any syndicated programming, but I always said this, and Nigel and I got into this yesterday, because yesterday was the 87th birthday of WIBC going on the air. If you missed that, Casey and I did basically a whole segment on it, that WIBC started on 1050 on the radio dial, and then eventually flipped over to 1070 and was there for generations, and then ultimately in the mid-2000s, as the people who owned WIBC at the time, saw, hey, AM's on it, kind of on its way out. We're going to go ahead and it was like a seismic move at the time. I remember being a college student, and when they announced they're flipping WIBC off of 1070, it was like someone had just
the FM dial.
Kicked you right in the stomach. But then, you listen. And the one thing I remember about when they WIBC flipped to FM, was how different Rush sounded, because I'd never heard him on FM before, and hearing him on FM airwaves compared to AM airwaves, he sounded different.
Yeah,
because
more mid-range, more bass.
Right. And so that was very odd. But obviously, we were talking about Nigel and I were talking about the anniversary of WIBC, the birthday, what WIBC has meant, etc. And just one of the things we mentioned is what a big role Rush played in the history of WIBC. And obviously, people forget WIBC was not a political talk station really until probably the mid-90s, when they adopted Rush. When you go listen to the old Terry and Jeff Pigeon morning show, which was fabulous, they had political people on. You listen to Dave Wilson.
That wasn't the central theme, though, or the thread.
They had political people on, but politics was almost the background of WIBC until Rush showed up. And then because he was so popular, they said, look, we got this guy on in the middays. He's drawing huge numbers for us. We got to kind of meld into what he's doing, because it's such an outlier. And then Pence was on for years, and then Garrison was on, and the morning show remained largely apolitical. But then obviously, by the time Tony kind of showed up, then it was fully engaged in political, and then Rush had left shortly after that and went to another radio station. But it is interesting just how much the radio station has changed over the generations. And while it's always had a community face and a community focus and local news content and commentary about it, it was not this largely conservative radio station that it is today.
Yeah, that can all be attributed back to him. I mean, the movement and the direction of many radio stations, not just WIBC.
So is that good that it's so different now? I mean, it's 5 years is a long time in any media landscape. You know this better than I do. But is it good? Because I think our government is largely chaotic and disorganized. I think the conservative movement is largely chaotic and disorganized. And I think
there are many different factions within one side.
Sure, there's no, and I'm all for free form and diversity of thought and everything else, but there is no real what are we anymore. You and I talk about this all the time.
Majority.
There is no real what are we, what do we stand for anymore. And when there is no real what are we and what do we stand for anymore, you get the chaos that exists, and you get the ability of conservatives, or Republicans, I should say, to not govern in a conservative fashion, or what traditionally is thought of as conservative fashion, because you don't have a consensus on what people want the Republican Party to be.
You could probably attribute a lot of that to immigration.
What do you mean?
Just many different influences coming in, and there's no majority.
Well, but I think there's no majority because there's no person to go to anymore. There used to be, it was destination listing between the hours of noon and 3. Some guy was going to come on and he was going to talk, and he was going to give you his view on things, and then it sort of got parroted out off of what that guy did between noon and 3, and that became, while the Republicans didn't always govern the way that noon to 3 described that it should be, they campaigned on the way noon to 3 described it should be, and we don't have that anymore. And then you get people, and I'm not picking on any of these people, I'm not trying to say they're good or bad or whatever, but you get a lot of quote-unquote independent voices who get followings who they aren't even all that conservative, but yet they're housed inside of some sort of Trump, MAGA movement, whatever, and then that becomes, oh, that's the way it should be. And it's like, well, that doesn't really work, and it's not working, and our country's kind of not in a great shape right now.
Well, let's talk about Donald Trump's polling and the recent polling. This is coming from the Washington Post and ABC News, so take that for what it's worth. And it says that more Americans are blaming him and the GOP for the shutdown.
It's my dad and I were talking about this yesterday, that it is interesting that the Republicans are getting blamed for simply voting to open the government. Like, how could you get blamed for vote? It shows how unengaged the public largely is, and they can be spun into about anything. Because if all the Republicans did was vote to keep the government open in the House, and the Republican senators have clearly said, which I think is wrong. I think they should not be voting to keep the government open given the current budget. But they've said we're more than willing to continue to let the status quo destroy this country. The Republican Party's official position is we're more than willing to let the status quo continue to destroy this country. The Democrats are the ones saying no, and yet Republicans are the ones getting the blame for it.
Well, I mean, that's because you have people saying, you've got Democrats out there that are saying, oh, you know what? They won't pass this.
But doesn't it show you that there is just a huge portion of this country that has no critical thinking skills whatsoever? Oh, someone told me it, so it must be true. And I'm not going to do the least bit of research, which, again, I totally disagree with the Republicans continuing to fully fund Joe Biden's government. I would vote no like Rand Paul has or Thomas Massey has. But the reality is they have voted to keep Joe Biden's government open and moving at a freight train type of speed. But like, there's a huge portion of our populace that can't even think it through or won't take the time to think it through. And so how could the Democrats not be getting the blame when they're the ones who are voting no over and over and over again?
I looked to a Facebook friend of mine, very outspoken, very Democrat.
Oh.
And she posts things all the time. And I'm just like scrolling through her feed right now. And this is one of the latest. This is from a day ago. No food for you until the Democrats let us take away your health care. House Republicans. So when you see messages like that.
Well, and how would you even talk that? Have you ever tried to engage that person?
Not in quite a while.
I would love, I've often told you because sometimes you will see things and you will try to go, why? And I will say, Casey, would you go to the county home and fight with the people there? And it's the equivalent sometimes on social media of going to the county home and trying to fight with people. But I would love to sit down with that person and just ask her, where did you learn this? Like, what is your actual, other than screaming on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, walk me through why you think this is going on and what's happening. And then the follow-up question would be, okay, so unless you give, and the follow-up question to these people who believe the Republicans are to blame for shutting down the government, the Republicans are to blame for bad government. They're certainly not to blame for shutting down the government. They're to blame for bad, dishonest, deceptive, rotten government, but they're certainly for keeping that government open. You would love to ask the people who think the Republicans are to blame, okay, so in your world, unless the Republicans give Democrats who have not won the election everything they want, then the Republicans are to blame. Well, if the answer is no, then what are they allowed to not give the Democrats? See, none of it makes any sense, and it is maddening.
Well, this is somebody who's picked their side, right? And they're just going to say that message.
And that's what it is. It's sides. And you're seeing this. You see it on our quote-unquote I don't have a team anymore. I've been booted off the team, Casey. But you see this in the conservative corners where all these people, this little group of people who I used to think were naive and were being manipulated. Now I don't think they're naive nor being manipulated. I think they go willingly and know exactly what they're doing, who were, many of them were very upset when Braun screwed everybody on property taxes, didn't follow through. And then he invites them to the governor's mansion. And now I guess he meets with them once a month.
Are they making progress?
Well, have you heard anything from Braun? Org Day is the 18th, Casey. That's when any big thing would be laid out because, and it's a short session, by the way. So they only basically have 2.5 months to get it done. Anything that would be big would have to be laid out then for the most part. Have you heard anything big from Braun?
Well, I don't know. I believe, weren't we told there was an ace up his sleeve?
Well, but have you seen the ace?
I have not.
Township government
That's why I'm
reform
asking. Are they
anything?
making progress? What is the ace?
But my point is these people go and now they just give these glowing reviews of Braun when they go. And then you realize, no, you're just a team person. And you're doing the same thing that woman is doing, but on the other side, in which no matter how many times you get screwed over, no matter how illogical it is, no matter what they do to you, you just want to be a part of it's like part of the action, right? I'm invited. I go to the thing. Of course, I'm not going to get anything done because of this. This guy's a habitual liar.
Well, no, so they can turn around to all their friends and say, hey, look at me. I was at the governor's mansion.
Bingo. And it's that way on both sides, right? And this is why we never get...
I was at the No Kings rally.
Yeah, right.
That's what it is.
We're never going to get anything done because people go into their corners. They're so into their corners. They can't come out of the corners. And we can't have an honest conversation in the quote-unquote middle about, hey, how big does the government need to be? What is actually working for us? What is actually effective? Who's being a good steward of our dollars? Who's being effective with our money? We can't even have that conversation because everybody's just, the other side's the devil. The other side's the worst. The country's going to end if so-and-so gets in charge. And we just have irrational screaming sessions on social media when it doesn't need to be that way.
According to this poll, 75% of Americans say they're concerned about the shutdown. 25% say they are not worried.
Hey, I know we opened our show with this today, but it's really important. We need to come back to, I think the governor lied again. And now a bunch of people's utility bills are about to go up again after Braun specifically gave the order no more utility bill increases.
We'll get to that coming up. It is 93 WIBC.
Kendall and Casey.
My mom is still receiving Social Security from my father.
Legally?
Yeah.
I don't think they just give it to your family.
No, your spouse can still get it.
Really? I put if you pass away, you know what the next thing that came up?
Did it autofill?
Who gets your Social Security?
Okay, what's the answer?
The main beneficiaries are usually the surviving spouse, children, or dependents.
So I was right.
Eligibility?
Say it!
Maybe.
Oh, say I'm right.
Kendall and Casey. Weekdays 9 till noon on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Picture this. Your career ends, your paycheck stops. Suddenly you're conducting your retirement with no sheet music. Don't let that happen. I'm Jason Hutchins, and after years of guiding Hoosier families through retirement planning, I put together some of the most important lessons into one simple, easy-to-read book, Orchestrate Your Retirement, a guide to composing a financially tuned plan. Get a copy mailed to you at no cost. Call 317-660-0929. That's 317-660-0929. This book is packed with real-world stories and strategies on income, Social Security, taxes, and how to protect what you've worked so hard to build. Call Guardian Wells Financial at 317-660-0929. That's 660-0929 and ask for your copy. No pressure, no strings attached. Supplies are limited, so when they're gone, they're gone. Orchestrate your retirement. The rhythm of your future starts here.
Investment advisory services offered through Creative One Wealth LLC, a registered investment advisor. Guardian Wells Financial is not affiliated with Creative One Wealth or with any government agency. Licensed insurance professionals.
You ready to build your custom dream home? Check out Joyner Homes based out of Greenfield. See one of their model homes in person anytime. It is a great way for you to experience the customization and quality of a Joyner Homes custom built home. Plus, you can meet with a new home specialist to learn about their building process. Available lots if you don't already have one. Find out about floor plans and where they build. Model homes are open 7 days a week from noon to 5 and walk-ins are welcome. Find out more at joynerhomes.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. If you're living with a chronic condition like diabetes, chronic heart failure, or a cardiovascular disorder, you might count on extra support with your health care too. That's why United Healthcare offers chronic special needs plans with extra benefits and a large provider network to choose from. Visit uhc.com/Medicare to find out if you qualify today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Indiana can count on. Provider network may vary in local market.
Replace old floors before the holidays with Drexel Interiors and get a free pad with qualifying purchase of new carpeting or luxury vinyl through November 15. Go to DrexelIN.com for details.
Roland the Headless Thompson Gunner. Roland the Headless Thompson Gunner.
That guy,
yeah,
in real time just proved my point. That is amazing.
It is.
That happened.
It is.
Okay, it's Kendall Casey Show. I'm Rob. That's Casey. So if you missed last segment, we were talking about this poll, what was it, the Washington Post, ABC News.
Mm-hmm.
It matches numerous other polls that have come out that said the public at large blames the Republicans for the shutdown.
Right. And I believe I said this is a Washington Post ABC News poll. Take that for what it's worth.
And then we went on to say the whole segment was basically about how ridiculous it is that Americans are blaming the Republicans. Look, I think the Republican budget is awful. I think continuing Joe Biden's spending is a lie to the American people based on what you campaigned on. I disagree with it. I would vote against it. But I said the Republicans are only guilty of continuing to fully fund bad government approved of and condoned by Joe Biden. They're certainly not guilty of a government shutdown. And then we went into a whole thing about how really what an indictment it is on our society that people just hear something on the news and then they run with it versus doing their own investigations, not working through it, not saying to themselves, yeah, that doesn't really make any sense. Hey, the Republicans keep voting to keep the government open. And I said part of the problem, though, we played the audio of that woman, and then we talked about people on the right who do the same thing, is people just go into their corners. They don't listen. They don't talk. Anytime they hear something that they don't like, they yell at the people who give them the information, or they get mad about the information being given. Like, you know, say you said for months, hey, there's a grand jury that's investigating the lieutenant governor. And somebody said, he's lying. That isn't happening. And then a news report comes out and says, oh, yeah, hey, there's documents showing the grand jury in Marion County is investigating the lieutenant governor for the exact things Rob said they were looking into. And then the person instead of going, hey, you know what, Rob was right. I'm sorry I said that. They go, how did he know? Someone needs to investigate how he knew. This is what people do. They are just so entrenched in their belief system, and they're so wet, and they can't ever come off for a fraction of a second the idea of maybe I do need to like kind of work towards the middle to find out. Maybe my side isn't always right. Maybe my entrenched belief system isn't always right. Doesn't mean theirs is either, but maybe we can just come off a little bit and try to identify that both sides are the problem. And maybe then if we come in the middle and work together, then maybe we'll be able to solve some stuff. No, we can't ever have that. And so as we're doing this segment, Casey.
As we're talking about how society is so tribalized.
This Brian on Twitter. You're really quoting at Washington Post and at ABC polls and speaking about like they have absolutely zero credibility. Be better.
I even said, take that for what it's worth.
And this is my response to him. And you at Robin Kendall, if you'd like to read it, I said,
thank you for listening, Brian.
Poll after poll shows people blame Republicans for the shutdown, which I said is ridiculous. I'm sorry for providing you information that appears to match other information from numerous outlets. I'll try to do better going to my corner and ignoring news I don't like next time. And he did it in real time. As we're talking about this, that was the response we got. And this is why the country's in the shape it's in. Until people are willing to look at their own corner and go, you know what? It's you two. That's what this show is all about. People like this show. I guess maybe Brian doesn't. But our show is looking at our corner and going, yeah, we know what they are. They're rotten. That side is awful. But you know what? You are too.
Our side's not doing some of the best stuff either.
Exactly. So anyway, I just thought that was funny that in real time as we were doing this guy's just basically demeaning us or being mad at us or whatever. for doing that exact thing. So there you go.
Hey, did you see that Mark Zuckerberg lost a whole lot of money?
How much?
$29.2 billion.
Oh, with the B.
Yeah, with the B.
Okay, because like if he lost $29.2 million, he probably wouldn't even know he lost that.
Right.
Oh, I did? Like it's like some guy who misplaced $5. It's in this house somewhere.
Dropped $1. What? Yeah, this after Meta stock fell.
Oh.
Yeah, his net worth
has
now dropped to $235 billion. He is now in 5th place.
Wait.
On the Rich People Index.
It dropped to how much?
$235 billion.
Okay, so the guy's worth $235 bill. He was worth public school math that told me like $264 if he lost $29 bill.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow he needs sweetheart deals from the Indian Economic Development Corporation to build a meta plant in the Leap District there in Lebanon.
Yeah.
Guys, worth $264 bill, and he needs our money to build his for-profit company?
Yep.
Wow.
So Meta planning on spending between 70 and 72 billion on AI.
No.
And as you mentioned, this is for data centers, cloud services, and AI talent.
Does it say why it went down? What'd he do? What'd he screw up?
It was the stock prices. Let me see here.
I mean, there must have been something that people looked at and said, ooh, that doesn't look good for us. That doesn't look good for earnings.
The earnings report was down over 11%.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that'll do it. Yeah, people not spending money on ads or whatnot with the Facebook. Yeah, that'll do it for you. Well, I grieve for him, and I hope his family will have
He
food
can
and
wipe his tears with $100 bills.
shelter this weekend.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
It's time. You've been putting off that kitchen or bath remodel long enough. What are you waiting for? Get started today with Boer Remodeling. Boer Remodeling customer Kathy had a bath remodel with Boer. Kathy, talk a little bit about your experience.
Our experience with Boer has been terrific. The process was so easy and seamless. When we decided to do a larger remodel of our first floor, Boer was the first company we thought of hiring.
And were you happy with the results?
The results are amazing, and we are so happy with our home and the work that Boer did.
Peter is another recent Boer Remodeling customer with a new kitchen. Peter, what was the best part about working with Boer?
We especially liked the active participation that we were able to have in selection of stone for the countertops. Really came out beautiful. The cabinets also came out very, very well.
The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. They'll guide you through the entire process. Start with a free consultation. Talk to Boer Remodeling today. That's BOOHER, BoerRemodeling.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Continuing to help those who need it. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 11:30. Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett says with help from Cummins and IU Health, they are providing over $200,000 in emergency funding for around 120,000 Marion County residents who are losing federal SNAP benefits. Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita is filing a lawsuit against St. Joseph County Sheriff Bill Redmond, claiming the sheriff's office did not cooperate with federal immigration requests made by ICE.
The only other thing I'd say about the appeal is we are confident in the appeal we filed. We're confident in our claims.
That's Assistant Chief Deputy Blake Lanning. A man is dead after being struck by a minivan last night in downtown Indianapolis. The driver of the van is not suspected of being impaired as IMPD continues their investigation. And the Pacers, 0-4 right now, but looking for that first win of the season tonight as they take on the Atlanta Hawks at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Stuck in a job that just isn't getting it done? Maybe it's time to go for IT. Whether you're just starting out, switching careers, or a military veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you launch a rewarding career in IT in months. No prior experience needed. Why spend years getting a traditional degree when your future in IT can start right now? Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Your most powerful upgrade? Your career. Go for it. Go for IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Of all the times to buy a new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, or Aviator. Plus get a $1,000 Tom Roush Trade Assist bonus. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
Subject to credit approval. Not all buyers will qualify. See dealer for complete offer details. Offer ends 10/31/2025.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Hi, this is Richard Stevenson. Need heating service in Johnson, Morgan, or Hendricks County? Give us a call, 317-557-8532.
Stevenson Heating and Cooling is your independent American Standard air dealer.
Hey, good news, Casey.
Yeah, what's that?
If you have Duke as your energy provider, your rates are about to go way up.
Oh, are you sure that's good news?
Oh, I meant bad news. Sorry, I get good and bad confused all the time. It's horrible news, actually. I've let the audience down. It is the Kendall Casey Show. I'm Rob. Casey's here. So this is very wild, Casey, because our governor, who would never lie to anyone, has a great track record of the truth, Mike Braun, has never stood in front of a group of people chanting fight, 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 and said he was with them and then screwed them on property taxes. He's never before said that the utility bills, he was concerned about them going up, then signed legislation that would definitely make everybody's utility bills go up. He has a very strong track record of honesty. Did he or did he not pretty emphatically say that with his new appointments coming to the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission, that he didn't want any more rate increases for the payers, that he was done with that?
Yeah, he said that.
Okay.
He compared it to this is going to be the property tax issue of this legislative session.
Okay, and for quite a while now, Duke has had this request in front of the governing body to say, we'd like to raise everybody's rates. We want to get rid of these coal-powered plants, and we want them to become natural gas plants. The big thing is they have to increase their capacity, almost triple their capacity, with the data centers and whatnot that we're subsidizing as taxpayers. They need a lot of power, so we got to come up with new power. And so I guess we're going to subsidize them again because if Duke got approval, which we'll get to that in a second, it would cause everybody's rates to go way up. And so you would think this has been in front of this commission for quite a while. There'd been immense pushback from the public, and the consumer advocate had said this isn't needed. You would think because, the IURC has new appointments that are about to come on, the governor, who claims to be very against rate increases, would have been emphatically in the last several weeks waving hands saying, hey, we asked this committee, hold off on this.
Right, put the brakes on this.
Don't make any choices. We'll let the new people come on. They got to live with the consequences. Please don't you'd also think the lieutenant governor who's expressed grave concern about this would have done that. But not a word from anybody. And then it came out yesterday, right before these new people are about to come on, who have been given very clear instructions by the governor publicly to not raise the rates that the current IURC is going to approve, this massive rate increase for Duke to expand and go to these natural gas facilities so that the data centers can have power at our expense.
Yeah. So the Indiana regulators, they approved the $3.3 billion plan. Hey, you mentioned, did you mention the financing costs?
Oh, well, yeah, see, I guess I misled everybody.
Because that's plus financing costs.
It's $3.3 billion plus financing.
Yeah. The rate increases, they're going to occur in 6-month increments, though.
So you don't see it. It's like
to minimize rate shock.
Yeah, well, wait a second. Yeah, so this is very important. This is the frog in the boiling pot of water. They don't want to do it all at once because the people would be outraged. But if they just raise your rates every 6 months.
A little bit here, a little bit there.
Okay, it is the point now where when I leave for the day, take my daughter to daycare, etc., I just turn the heat down in the house now. And I'm like, I know it'll be cold when I get home, but I'll just deal with it for a while because these utilities are so totally out of control. I'll do that in the summertime too. I'll crank it up a little bit. Then before she gets home, I'll try to turn it back down. But it's just freaking ridiculous. And they lied again. Braun didn't do anything to fight this. He didn't do anything publicly to say, hey, you guys better hang on. I'm politely asking you to please let the new commission review this. They got to do it. Nothing. He didn't do anything. And you know what they'll do? So the utilities now are fine. Duke's going to be fine because this little profit factory is going to keep getting their money. And then Braun will be able to say, well, that was the old commission. The people I brought in didn't have anything to do with it. Well, obviously, this is a long-term plan to screw the ratepayers if you have Duke. And so then Braun will just wipe his hands up and go, well, we didn't raise those rates.
That was before.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Liar.
Yeah.
The guy's a liar. He lies about everything. He should be ashamed of himself, except he has no shame. So if you're some kid that goes trick-or-treating the governor's mansion tonight, or you have a kid that goes trick-or-treat the governor's mansion, you have little Junior knock on the door, and if that tired old fool comes and answers, now I've probably got about 5 minutes where he's going to do that, but if he answers the door, you have little Junior say, Rob Kendall says you should be ashamed of yourself for screwing the taxpayers. It'll be great. Get it on tape. We'll make you internet famous.
Is that appropriate for a little kid to say?
Why not? He's screwing their parents.
Yeah. And them long term, right?
Well, right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why when you remember Dr. Bach's gynecologist? Was she still here when you were here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Remember, she was no experience whatsoever with pandemics or the public health issue like COVID, but she was part of Lockdown McGee's, regime there that was in charge of. Now, remember, she's the woman who got COVID multiple times. I never tested positive for COVID, but she was lecturing me about appropriate behavior in public, even though she got COVID multiple times. She's the woman who was finger wagging at people about putting on your mask in public, and then was photographed at her kid's wedding.
At a wedding.
Not wearing a mask.
Right.
And she was finger wagging after she had already gone to that wedding without a mask. Now, of course, then we got the photo. Then, it's sort of like when we kept saying there's a grand jury investigating the lieutenant governor's office, and then everybody was screaming, no, there wasn't. And then it came out that the lieutenant governor's office is under a Marion County grand jury investigation. People didn't say, hey, Rob, you were right, I'm sorry. They screamed, how did Rob Kendall know? We demand an investigation into how Rob Kendall knew about the grand jury. She didn't say, I'm sorry that I was a complete and utter hypocrite. I'm sorry that I was lecturing to you while I knew I had just gone to this large public event, or not public event, but an event with a large amount of people, and I didn't have my mask on. You know what they said? We demand to know how Rob Kendall got that photo.
How'd you get that?
We demand to know who gave you that photo of that wedding that showed me being a complete hypocrite. This is what these politicians...
Not outrage of the act, but outrage that you...
Right.
Outed him.
It's happening again with Micah Beckwith's office. His orbit is not mad and going, hey, man, what did this guy do that potentially put his office under investigation, or potentially do, or what has caused this grand jury investigation? They're not curious at all about that. They're not looking into, well, Rob has said this for months. Is there some smoke? Is there some fire here with this smoke? Why are they looking into it? No, we're mad that Rob was proven right, and there is this grand jury investigation. And same thing with Dr. Bach's gynecologist. They weren't mad that she was a complete and utter hypocrite. They weren't mad at the hypocrisy of that woman who knew she'd been at that wedding without a mask, finger wagging at you about wearing your mask. They were mad that they got caught. Anyway, I don't even know how we got off onto that.
Same thing with Braun.
Oh,
the
yeah.
prices.
Thank you. Yeah, sorry.
I'm here for you.
I just wanted to remind everybody one final time going into the weekend that for months we were right and people screamed at us, and there is maybe it's your water cooler or, on Monday, or your weekend conversations at the football games. You can get into how there's a grand jury investigating the lieutenant governor's office that he said wasn't happening.
President Donald Trump called on U.S. military leaders to resume nuclear weapons testing to match programs in Russia and China. He posted this before his meeting with Xi Jinping in South Korea.
Hey, we should all get along. By the way, we need to test some nuclear weapons. That's a great strategy.
Yeah, so why did he do that? Was that just, I want to put this out here before I meet with China as just a threat, or let them know where we stand?
Well, it's a flex, right?
Yeah.
But is it a smart flex? I mean, look, America made a decision, whatever it's been now, 50 plus years ago with Nixon, that we were going to engage the Chinese. And part of us engaging the Chinese and on a commercial level allowed them to grow stronger. And let's face it, we engaged knowingly with China because we all we bitch and we moan and we scream, or the politicians do, about human rights violations in China. Yet we keep buying stuff from China. And we chose to engage with China. Let's just be honest. It's just us, Casey. Nobody else is listening.
Right.
We chose to engage with China because we know about their human rights violations. And we know to this day that they are able to make stuff that we can buy cheaper than if we made it here because they play, at best, fast and loose with how workers should be treated. And so there is this, like, hypocrisy amongst these politicians who for decades, and I'm not lumping Trump into this because I think he has tried to get tough with China, but these senators, these congressmen, to some extent these presidents, who on one hand criticized China's human rights, but then continued to engage in a commercial transactional type relationship that allowed them to continue to operate in that manner.
Right. And now he just made the huge soybean deal with them.
Well, we are addicted.
So it's continuing.
We are addicted to cheap stuff in this country. And they're, I'm not going to get on some moral high horse and go, that's dead wrong, because I'm sure every day I buy something that was made in China or in some way engage in. I don't shop all that much, but my wife might buy something.
There's probably stuff in your house.
Right. I'm not in any way trying to, and every other person does too. When you go to the Walmart, now if it's not China, it's some other, country that probably has similar human rights, worker regulations to China. So I'm not going to get on some moral high horse and finger wagging, unlike the lady who didn't wear the mask at her son's wedding and then told you what to do. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's the conversation we have to have as a country to decide what we're going to do going forward. You can get tough with China. You can punish China. You can force them on some level to get better. It won't fix it all the way, but you can on some level force them to get better at worker rights and what they pay people and the conditions they live. You're going to pay more for stuff. If you want it to be made in this country, you're going to pay more for it. Are you willing to do that? And it's going to be a lot more.
I'm sitting here looking at you and I'm thinking, you know what? You're probably wearing clothes that were made in China.
Probably.
Or your headphones that you're currently using, possibly.
That's why I don't get on a moral high horse when it comes to China and say you must da-da-da-da-da-da. I don't do that. I say you can. I say I am willing to pay more if we choose to do that. But you also don't see me sitting here every day making it issue number one, because I'm probably guilty of it, as is every single other American.
In regards to the nuclear testing, the last time the U.S. conducted a nuclear test was September 23rd, 1992 at the Nevada test site, and it was called Divider. A moratorium was issued by George H.W. Bush after the Cold War, though.
So we're back. That's what you're saying?
I guess.
We're back.
Or we're threatening.
We're so back,
baby. We're back, or we're threatening to be back. I did want to play this audio before we get into break. This was on Air Force One. They hit some turbulence. Oh. This is Donald Trump over Asia. And Donald Trump, of course, immediately trolling the media, which I thought was funny.
Discuss basically, these are rough winds in Asia. I must tell you, this is a rough flight. We could have waited an hour, maybe. These are a little tough. These are tough conditions for interviews. They're going to be watching Trump. They're going to say he didn't look too good. He's got the shakes. I don't have the shakes, but people are going to think I do.
You're pretty solid. So Ukraine. Isn't that true though? He's bopping around because of turbulence, and some reporter out there is going, "Oh, he was shaking." No, it was gravity.
I wonder how far Air Force One could fly without having to refuel. I'll probably look that up. I'll look that up during the break.
Can they do mid-air refueling on Air Force One?
I don't know. We'll look that up during the break. That'll give you a reason to stick around.
It's Kendall Casey on 93 WIBC.
A Halloween edition of the Hammer and Nigel Show. Hammer is back. Plus, it's Beer Sample Friday. All the fun starts at 3 o'clock, 93 WIBC.
The deals are happening at Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield. That's where you get your next Ford car, truck, electric vehicle, or fleet vehicle. More savings, more selection, and more for your trade. Drive off in a new Ford F-150 for 3.9% APR, or lease for $401 a month. It's your choice. You can get a new Bronco Sport for just $381 a month. Get more before it's gone. And routine maintenance plans are available to keep things simple and convenient. And don't forget, get more to your door. Just shop online, and Andy Moore will deliver directly to you. Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield. For your car, for your truck, for your fleet vehicle, and of course, that service. Just go to AndyMooreFord.com, set up your service, they'll pick up your car, take perfect care of it, and bring it right back to you. Andy Moore Ford, 2713 East Main Street in Plainfield. Stop into the showroom and tell them Tony Katz sent you, or online at AndyMooreFord.com. That's Andy Moore, M-O-H-R. I love Andy. AndyMooreFord.com.
So October is here. I've got peace of mind with my Window Nation windows that the hot air is going to stay in my house and the cold air is going to stay out. You can eliminate annoying drafts once and for all with top quality replacement windows from Window Nation, just like I did. And they got an awesome deal right now going on at windownation.com.
Window Nation has an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau, and they send the best of the best out to your house. All of their experts have multiple years' experience, and Window Nation windows come with a lifetime warranty. So schedule a fast and free estimate right now with Window Nation. And now through October 31st, buy 2 windows, get 2 for free. And you don't pay anything for 2 years. 866-90-NATION or go online to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Hellsberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring from. They were so helpful throughout the whole process. They even knew your family by name. And the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Hellsberg, designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
It's JMV, and the fall sales are across the board at Miss M's Home and Garden this week. Visit the Garden Center for 20% off all fall annuals, including mums and interior fall decor. 30 to 50% off all container trees and shrubs in stock. 40% off patio furniture and 50% off pottery. Now is the time to take advantage of the remaining fall evenings and save. The friendly staff at Miss M's will help add the right touches to your home and landscape. Miss M's on State Road 135, south of Whiteland Road in Bargersville.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Not sure what to get him this holiday? You can't go wrong with a gift from Untuck It. Every guy wants to unwrap our best-selling, wrinkle-free, and performance styles. From polished shirts for holiday parties to cozy layers for family photos, you'll find everything he needs to look sharp and feel comfortable all day and night. So, get a head start on your holiday gift list. Early holiday sale happening now. Find the perfect gift for everyone on your list at untuckit.com and more than 80 stores worldwide. Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn, untucked.
Want in on special WIBC contests?
That is correct.
Join the text club. Text WIBC to 317-239-9393. Exclusive giveaways are just a text away.
And I don't want to waste more time. I'm in a New York state of mind.
Okay, so just a second, we're going to have a little conversation about if a politician cannot identify songs very associated with their state, is that a big deal or is that a no big deal? But first, to answer the question which we posed before we went to break, we were talking about Air Force One. Trump was in Asia and he was on this, sort of rocky flight. No one was ever
Lots of turbulence.
any danger. And so they got me wondering, how far can Air Force One fly without having to refuel? And then you had posed, can it air refuel?
Right.
And so the answer is without stopping, 15 to 17 hours.
Okay.
Can you fly across the world in 15 to 17 hours? Can you make it? Is there anywhere you couldn't make it to?
Isn't like from New York to Tokyo that long?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking you. Obviously, I don't ever leave my
I think
house.
you could probably
so
get halfway around the world.
Kev, you think you could make it around the world in 17 hours? You've traveled everywhere.
I don't think you could.
No, I think it would take a little longer.
Yeah.
Really? All right. Let me look at this up here real quick.
Because I know like flights to Australia take almost 24 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's a 14-hour flight from L.A. to Australia.
Right.
How long does it take across the world? How long does it take to fly across the world? Oh, okay. It takes roughly 42, this according to the AI overview, which, of course, this would never be wrong, 42 hours of pure flight time to fly around the world in a standard commercial jet.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but they said the actual time would be 50, 60 with layovers, but if you just got in a plane and flew, it would be 42 hours. So, no, he could not fly around the world. However, it does. Now, they said it normally would never do that because you have to actually, the Air Force One requires a ton of lubrication. because of the size of it. No laugh. It's a family program.
Sure.
Yeah, you keep your head in the game, sister.
Keep going. It's Friday. We're so close.
And so it normally would not do that anyway. But yes, it said it can air refuel, so it would not have to land if it
wouldn't
didn't
have
need
to
Yeah,
stop.
right.
No, you could get on the new NASA supersonic jet, which is called Son of Concorde.
Oh, sounds very undangerous.
And you could get there a lot quicker around the world.
How fast?
Well, I don't know how fast, but quicker than, what would you say, 42 hours?
42 hours would have said
42 hours?
in a standard commercial jet.
Yeah. That's a new development from Lockheed Martin and NASA. They just debuted it. It had its first test flight.
Yeah.
Son of Concorde. $247 million plane, by the way.
Well, no, yeah, okay. Anyway, so real quick, Mamdani, he's this uber socialist guy running for mayor of New York.
33-year-old, he's the front runner.
Yeah, he came to this country. There's some kind of misconceptions about him. It looks like he came to this country in 1998. He was born in Uganda. His parents are Indian, I think. And then some people tried to make it out like he just got here in 2018. I think maybe that's when he got naturalized as a citizen.
Sure.
He'd been in this country. I don't think he was like hiding in the shadows either. I think people knew, I don't know, various visas or whatever. And so he's been in this country for quite a while. There was some misconception about that. But anyway, he got asked about on some...
He was on Trackstar podcast.
Okay, and he got asked about a bunch of songs, and the thing where they play the song, and you got to name the song. And he could not name New York State of Mind by Billy Joel, which obviously is totally associated with the city and state of New York. But it's also a very prominent song. And is it a big deal that the guy couldn't name the song that's so closely associated with your state?
Well, he failed to recognize the song based on the opening piano notes. I don't know if I would be able to do that, but I'm also not a New Yorker. I feel like that would be like asking me if I could identify Hang On Sloopy by the McCoys, which is an Ohio song, or Small Town by Mellencamp. I could do that, or Main Street from Bob Seger.
Right, like Kev, like the moment you hear the opening chorus to Small Town, like can you cue that up for us? Could you do that? I mean, everybody would know that in Indiana.
For sure.
Yeah, if I you got it?
1 second.
Yeah, if you play the opening, or even Pink Houses, even though that's not directly Indiana, Small Town is, okay, here we go.
Yeah, you know that right
instantly.
away. Yeah. And if you couldn't identify that, that would not be a good look. Especially if you're running for mayor of Indianapolis.
Well, it raises the question. If we did that with Mike Braun, could he identify the opening chorus to Small Town? I say no. I don't think he could do it. I don't think he could do it. I think if you sat him down here right now and he hadn't heard that and you said, name that song, he couldn't do it. I think that guy is that aloof that he could not identify Small Town.
I don't know if he could or not.
Well, we've seen every time Hammer and Nigel give him a beer, he stares at it like it's some sort of alien rock that he was given. Remember they asked him, like, what are you drinking? He's like, I got a blueberry wine the other day. It was fabulous.
I have a bourbon.
Well, didn't we ask him that? And he said, or they asked him, and he said something like he drinks, was it Mick Ultra or something?
You know, an everyman's beer.
So
just your average Joe kind of beer.
So would you be surprised if Braun could not name the opening chorus to Small Town?
I certainly hope so.
Or the opening chords to Small Town.
Now, could Joe Hogsett identify it? Because Mamdani is running for mayor of New York City, so let's look to our mayor of Indianapolis.
Well, I think with Hogsett, it would depend on what hour of the day it is.
Right.
And what he's been doing all day.
He's not only can I name it, I'll sing it, too.
I ain't running for nothing.
This is karaoke hour.
I'm running from something.
Yes. I don't know. Mamdani should have been able to identify those
That's kind of a big deal, right? That's your city. It's the city you live. The Billy Joel's obviously so closely associated with New York. Yeah, I think that's a big deal, but I think that's the least of the big deals we're going to have with this guy when he becomes mayor.
Yeah, that's true. All right, that's going to do it for us today.
He hasn't even started the music yet.
I know, but he's going to.
Oh, you want to go?
I
That's
do.
your thing.
I'm
You're
ready.
done. You're tapping out. You're Anthony Richardson over here. You're saying, Rob, save the rest of the show.
Who's next?
All right, I got it, Casey. I'll take it. It'll be fine. You've done enough.
Do it.
That'll do it for us today. Great job until the end, Casey.
Yep.
Kev, fabulous job as always. Most importantly, thank you to you. Without you, there is no us. Stick around. Tony Katz coming up next. Kendall Casey Show, 93 WIBC.
Party people, it's Hammer from the Hammer and Nigel show from my friends at Diamonds Direct. Diamonds Direct is on the north side of Indy, Keystone at the crossing. It's right there by the Green Bridge. You can't miss it. And I'm telling you, the holidays are almost here. And guys, now would be the perfect time to get that home run gift for the holidays. At least start looking around and sizing things up. And nobody will help you out better than Diamonds Direct because they have the best customer service. It's not even close. Look, you get a lot of options in the jewelry game, but the customer service you get at Diamonds Direct, it's why I keep going back. Chris is my rep. She is a rock star. She's amazing. But no matter who you work with, they will help you plan that holiday proposal or get that amazing gift for the holidays, the biggest selection and the lowest prices. Diamonds Direct, Keystone at the Crossing. Tell them Hammer from the Hammer and Nigel show sent you.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Drexel Interiors has teamed up with Mohawk for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. A portion of October's Mohawk sales will be donated to the Susan G. Komen Foundation. Visit either showroom or drexelin.com today.
Housing discrimination. Would you recognize it and report it? These folks did.
My landlord said rent will be cheaper if we're friends with benefits.
Because I'm legally blind, a landlord questioned whether I'd be capable of maintaining an apartment.
Our real estate agent said a different neighborhood with people like us might better suit our family.
To learn more about housing discrimination, visit HUD.gov/fair housing. Fair housing is your right. Use it. A public service message from HUD in partnership with the National Fair Housing Alliance.
On the level, on the go. 93 WIBC Indianapolis.
Coming up.
They fear the socialists and the radicals.
President Trump acknowledged that in a Truth Social post.
I have 7 million in 21.
Daylight saving time is the period between March and November.
U.S. Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins was in Lebanon.
This is the WIBC News at noon.
Could this deadlock leave people without food?
Downtown Indy seeing some clouds right now. Temperatures around 48. We're topping out near 56 for today. I'm Jarrett Lewis.
And I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at noon. We are on day number 31 of the government shutdown, and SNAP benefits are on the line if Congress doesn't step in. Millions of people could go without food this weekend.
Chuck Schumer and the Democrats are doing all this because they fear the socialists and the radicals to their left. Ironically, in leaving American families hungry and American children without food.
Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins.
The fact that the Democrats are saying, but wait, USDA has money in their accounts, why it is really their fault. I've seen it over and over and over from some of their leaders, is absolute false, and it is a lie.
On Thursday, President Trump urged Republicans to end the filibuster and use the nuclear option to reopen the government.
He took to Truth Social to push Senate Republicans to scrap the filibuster so the shutdown could be ended with just 51 votes instead of 60.
And President Trump acknowledged that in a Truth Social post. He also argued that any future Democrat Senate majority would likely to just try and do that, but on their terms, giving this prompt. It is now time for the Republicans to play their Trump card and go for what is called the nuclear option. Get rid of the filibuster and get rid of it now.
That's Fox's Alexandria Hoff at the White House.
FBI Director Kash Patel says several people were arrested in Michigan today for planning a terrorist attack over Halloween weekend. He didn't share many details, but says more information is coming. Dearborn police said the FBI carried out operations in the city.